The Star Weaver's secret. In a small, quaint village nestled in a lush valley, there lived a humble woman named Leora. She was known for her exquisite weaving, crafting tapestries that seemed to come alive with every stitch. Leora's creations were not mere decorations, they told stories of dreams and magic, woven from threads of silver and gold. The villagers cherished Leora's work, but they also whispered about an old legend. According to the tale, Leora possessed a secret talent. She was said to be a star weaver, someone who could capture the light of the stars in her threads. This legend was dismissed by many as a mere myth, but it lingered in the hearts of those who longed for a touch of magic in their lives. The mysterious request. One evening, as the stars began to twinkle in the velvet sky, a stranger arrived in the village. He was a tall man with a cloak that shimmered like the night sky and a gentle, knowing smile. He introduced himself as Eric, a traveler from a distant land. Eric sought Leora's help. "I have heard of your incredible talent," he said. "I need a tapestry that holds the light of the rarest star, one that can bring hope and healing to my land, which is suffering from a terrible drought." Leora, intrigued and moved by Eric's story, agreed to help him. Eric handed her a small, ornate box. Inside was a single, radiant star crystal. "This crystal holds the essence of the rarest star," he explained. "It will guide you in your weaving." The enchanted weaving Leora worked tirelessly day and night, using the star crystal to illuminate her loom. As she wove, the thread sparkled with an ethereal light, and the tapestry began to take shape. It depicted a magnificent celestial landscape with stars, moons, and mythical creatures dancing across the fabric. Unbeknownst to Leora, the tapestry was imbued with magic. The star crystal was not only guiding her but also infusing her work with a powerful enchantment. As the final stitch was made, the tapestry shone with a light so pure and brilliant that it seemed to hold the very essence of the night sky. The journey to Eric's land. With the tapestry completed, Leora and Eric set out on a journey to his homeland, a distant kingdom suffering from endless drought. The land was parched, and the people's spirits were as dry as the cracked earth beneath their feet. When they arrived, Eric presented the tapestry to the kingdom's rulers and laid it out in the central square. The villagers gathered around, their eyes widening in awe at the tapestry's beauty. As the sun set, the tapestry began to glow softly, reflecting the light of the stars above. The miracle. As the tapestry shimmered in the moonlight, something incredible happened. The tapestry's light began to spread across the kingdom. The barren fields started to green, and the once dry wells began to fill with fresh, sparkling water. The land seemed to come alive with a newfound vitality, and the people rejoiced in their restored fortunes. Leora's heart swelled with joy at witnessing the transformation. She knew that the true magic lay not just in the tapestry but in the hope and unity it inspired. The parting gift. Before Leora left, the kingdom's rulers offered her a grand reward, but she humbly declined. Instead, she asked for a single star-shaped gem from their land, a token to remember the journey by. The rulers gladly granted her request, and Leora returned to her village with the precious gem. Leora's village was soon visited by travelers from afar, eager to see the weaver who had brought hope to a distant land. The tale of her bravery and kindness spread far and wide, and her tapestries were revered not only for their beauty but also for the magic they carried within. A lasting legacy. Leora continued to weave, her work now infused with the wisdom and magic she had gained from her journey. The star-shaped gem became a cherished keepsake, a reminder of the power of hope and the difference one person can make. The village flourished, and Leora's legend lived on, inspiring generations to believe in the magic of their own dreams and the possibility of creating light even in the darkest of times. And so, under the watchful gaze of the stars, Leora's story was woven into the fabric of time, a testament to the magic that lives in the heart of those who dare to dream. The Enchanted Lantern. Once upon a time, in a charming village surrounded by emerald forests and sparkling rivers, there was a legend of a magical lantern hidden deep in the woods. This lantern was said to grant one wish to anyone who found it, provided their heart was pure and their intentions noble. In this village lived a kind-hearted young girl named Ilara. Ilara loved to help others and often spent her days tending to the village gardens and assisting her neighbors. One day, As she was picking flowers by the river, she overheard an old storyteller recounting the tale of the enchanted lantern. Intrigued, Elara decided that she wanted to find the lantern and use its magic to help her village, which had recently fallen on hard times. The journey begins determined. Elara set out early the next morning, carrying only a small satchel with some bread, a flask of water, and a warm cloak. The path to the lantern was said to be fraught with challenges, so she needed to be prepared. As she ventured into the forest, the trees seemed to whisper secrets, and the air was filled with the sound of rustling leaves. After walking for a while, she encountered a wise old owl perched on a low branch. The first challenge, the riddle of the owl. The owl looked at Elara with its large, knowing eyes and spoke, "To proceed, you must answer my riddle. I have cities, but no houses. I have mountains, but no trees. I have water, but no fish. What am I?" Elara thought for a moment and then answered, "A map." The owl hooted in approval and flapped its wings, revealing a hidden path illuminated by a soft, golden light. Elara followed the path deeper into the forest. The second challenge, the mysterious stream. The path led Elara to a babbling stream with sparkling water. As she approached, she noticed that the stream was obstructed by floating stones that seemed to shift and move. On the opposite bank stood a small, delicate fairy. The fairy fluttered her wings and said, "To cross the stream, you must find the pattern in the stones. Only then will you safely reach the other side." Elara carefully observed the stones and noticed that they formed a pattern of twinkling lights when aligned in a specific order. She stepped on the stones according to the pattern and successfully crossed the stream. The third challenge, the whispering grove. On the other side of the stream, Elara entered a grove where the trees seemed to whisper secrets to one another. She was greeted by a friendly squirrel who asked her to solve the final riddle. "I can be cracked, made, told, and played. What am I?" Elara answered, "A joke." The squirrel nodded and scurried away, revealing a hidden entrance covered in vines. Elara pushed through the entrance and found herself in a serene glade. The enchanted lantern. In the center of the glade stood a beautiful, ornate lantern hanging from an ancient oak tree. The lantern was glowing softly, casting a warm, inviting light. Elara approached and gently lifted the lantern. As she held it, a gentle voice emanated from the lantern, "To use my magic, you must make a wish with a pure heart." Elara closed her eyes and made her wish. "I wish for my village to prosper and for the people to be happy and healthy." The lantern's light grew brighter, and a soft breeze carried the magic back to the village. As Elara made her way home, she could see the signs of change. The fields were lush and green, the river flowed abundantly, and the village was bustling with renewed energy and joy. The return home. When Elara returned, the villagers greeted her with joy and gratitude. The village was thriving once more, and the magic of the enchanted lantern had brought prosperity and happiness to everyone. Elara's kindness and bravery were celebrated, and the tale of her journey was passed down through generations. The enchanted lantern became a symbol of hope and the power of selfless wishes. And so, Elara's village continued to flourish, forever touched by the magic of the enchanted lantern in the heart of a young girl who wished for the happiness of others. The tale of the wishing star. Once upon a time, in a village nestled between rolling hills and lush green forests, there lived a young girl named Elara. Elara was known throughout the village for her kind heart and her love of stargazing. Every night, after finishing her chores, she would climb the old oak tree in her backyard and sit on its highest branch, gazing up at the stars that twinkled like diamonds in the sky. Elara had a special bond with the stars. Ever since she was a little girl, she believed that each star held a wish, and that if she wished upon the right one, her dreams would come true. But despite all her wishing, Elara's life remained simple and ordinary. She lived in a small cottage with her grandmother, who had raised her since she was a baby. They were poor, but they were happy, for they had each other and the beauty of the night sky. One evening, as Elara was sitting in her favorite spot in the oak tree, she noticed something unusual. A star, brighter than any she had ever seen, appeared in the sky. It shimmered with a soft, golden light that seemed to dance and pulse like a heartbeat. Elara's eyes widened in wonder. She had never seen a star like this before. curiosity and excitement filled her heart. "This must be a special star," she whispered to herself. "Perhaps it's the wishing star I've been waiting for." With a hopeful heart, Elara closed her eyes and made a wish. She wished for something she had always dreamed of, a life of adventure beyond the borders of her village, where she could explore the world and discover its many wonders. She wished to find her true purpose, something that would make her feel like she belonged to something greater. As she finished her wish, the star's light grew even brighter, and then, to Elara's amazement, it shot across the sky, leaving a trail of golden sparkles behind it. The star didn't disappear like a falling star would. Instead, it seemed to land somewhere in the forest beyond the village. Elara's heart raced with excitement. She knew she had to find the star. She quickly climbed down from the oak tree and rushed back to her cottage. She told her grandmother about the star and her wish. Her grandmother, wise and loving, smiled gently. "Elara, my dear, the stars have heard your wish. But remember, the journey to find what you seek may not be easy. You must be brave and trust in your heart." Elara nodded, determined. She packed a small bag with some food, water, and a blanket, and set off into the forest, guided by the light of the full moon. The forest was dense and dark, but Elara was not afraid. She followed the path where she had seen the star land, and soon, she found herself in a clearing bathed in soft, golden light. In the center of the clearing was a small, shimmering object, the star itself. But as she approached, she realized that it wasn't just a star. It had transformed into a beautiful, glowing flower, unlike any she had ever seen. The flower's petals were made of light, and at its center was a tiny, pulsing crystal. Elara reached out to touch it, and as she did, a warm, comforting sensation filled her entire being. The flower spoke to her in a gentle, melodic voice. "Elara, you have found the wishing star," the flower said. "I am here to grant you the adventure you seek. But to begin your journey, you must choose a path, the path of the heart, the path of the mind, or the path of courage. Each path will lead you to a different destiny. Choose wisely, for your choice will shape your future." Elara thought for a moment. The path of the heart sounded comforting and kind, the path of the mind promised wisdom and knowledge, and the path of courage spoke to the bravery she felt deep within her. She had always believed that true adventure required courage, so she chose the path of courage. The flower glowed brighter, and a new path opened up before her, leading deeper into the forest. Elara thanked the flower and began her journey. The path of courage was filled with challenges. She encountered a fierce storm that threatened to sweep her away, but she stood her ground, trusting in her strength. She faced a dark cave where shadows danced and whispered, but she walked through it, lighting her way with the light of the flower. She even came across a great chasm that seemed impossible to cross, but with faith in her heart, she took a leap and found herself safely on the other side. At the end of the path, Elara arrived at a vast, sparkling lake. In the center of the lake was an island, and on that island stood a grand castle made of crystal. The wishing star had led her to a place of magic and wonder, a place where she could learn and grow, and where her true purpose awaited. As Elara gazed at the castle, the flower's voice spoke to her once more. "Elara, you have proven your courage. The castle is your new home, a place where you will learn the ways of the stars and become a guardian of wishes. Your adventure has just begun, and you will help others find their paths, just as you have found yours." With tears of joy in her eyes, Elara thanked the wishing star. She knew that her life would never be the same, and she welcomed the journey ahead with an open heart. And so, Elara became the first guardian of the wishing star, guiding others on their paths to their own adventures, and ensuring that the light of hope and dreams would shine brightly in the hearts of all who believed. Once upon a time, in a serene land where emerald forests stretched as far as the eye could see, there was a mystical forest known as the Forest of Echoes. The forest was famous for its enchanting melodies, believed to be played by an ancient harp hidden deep within its heart. This harp was said to possess the power to bring harmony and joy to the land. In a quaint village nestled at the forest's edge, lived a kind and curious girl named Elara. She had grown up hearing tales of the magical harp and dreamed of one day hearing its melodies herself. One autumn morning, the village was struck by a misfortune. The once lively river that flowed through their land dried up, and the crops began to wilt. The village elder, wise and old, declared that the only way to restore prosperity was to find the enchanted harp and play its melodies once more. Ilara, determined to help her village, decided to embark on a quest to find the enchanted harp. Armed with a small satchel of provisions and her unwavering spirit, she entered the Forest of Echoes. The first challenge, the Whispering Glade. Ilara's journey took her to the Whispering Glade, a beautiful meadow where the wind carried the soft voices of the forest's inhabitants. As she wandered through the glade, she encountered a wise old owl perched on a branch. To continue through the Whispering Glade, the owl said in a voice as smooth as silk, "You must solve this riddle. I can be cracked, made, told, and played. What am I?" Ilara thought for a moment and replied, "A joke." The owl's eyes twinkled with approval, and it flapped its wings, revealing a hidden path through the meadow. Follow this path, and it will lead you to the next challenge. The second challenge, the River of Reflections. Ilara followed the path to the River of Reflections, a tranquil river with crystal-clear waters that mirrored the sky and the towering trees. The river was guarded by a majestic swan with feathers that glistened like moonlight. To cross the River of Reflections, the swan said gracefully, "You must answer this question. What has keys but can't open locks, has space but no room, and you can play it but not touch it?" Ilara pondered the question and answered, "A piano." The swan's feathers glowed warmly, and it created a shimmering bridge of light across the river. Ilara crossed the river with a renewed sense of determination. The third challenge, the Cavern of Echoes. On the other side of the river, Ilara discovered the Cavern of Echoes, a grand cave filled with glowing crystals that cast mesmerizing patterns of light. At the entrance of the cavern stood an ancient door adorned with celestial symbols. A gentle voice echoed from within the cave, "To open this door and find the enchanted harp, you must reveal your true heart. Share your deepest wish and prove that you seek it with a pure intention." Ilara took a deep breath and spoke sincerely, "My deepest wish is to find the enchanted harp and bring its melodies back to my village, so that our land may be restored and filled with joy." The cavern's walls shimmered with a soft, golden light, and the ancient door slowly creaked open, revealing the enchanted harp resting on a pedestal in the center of the cave. Its strings shimmered with an ethereal glow. The revelation, restoring the melody. With the enchanted harp in hand, Ilara returned to her village. As she played the harp strings, a beautiful melody filled the air, weaving through the village like a gentle breeze. The sound of the harp restored the river's flow, revitalized the crops, and brought a sense of harmony and joy to the land. The villagers gathered in awe as their once dry fields turned green, and the river sparkled with fresh water. The village elder praised Ilara for her bravery and selflessness, and the tale of her quest became a beloved story in the village. The enchanted harp continued to play its melodies, a symbol of hope and the power of determination. Under the magical tunes of the harp, the village thrived, and the Forest of Echoes once again sang with joy. And so, the village lived in harmony and happiness, forever grateful for the courageous girl who had restored their land with the music of the enchanted harp. Once upon a time, in a kingdom where the sky shimmered with countless stars every night, there was a small village named Starlight. The villagers of Starlight were known for their wisdom and their deep connection to the night sky, which they believed was filled with magic and wonder. In this village lived a young boy named Finn. Finn had always been fascinated by the stars. Every evening, he would lie on the grass and gaze up at the night sky, dreaming of adventures beyond the village. One evening, as Finn was stargazing, he noticed a single star that seemed to shine brighter than the others. It twinkled with a mesmerizing, golden light. Finn was so entranced by its brilliance that he lost track of time. Suddenly, the star began to descend slowly, landing gently in front of him. To Finn's astonishment, the star transformed into a tiny, radiant figure, a fairy with delicate wings that glowed like the night sky. She introduced herself as Lyra, the Star Fairy. "Greetings, Finn. I've come to seek your help," she said with a voice like a soft chime. Finn, wide-eyed with excitement, asked, "How can I help you, Lyra?" Lyra explained that she was on a quest to find the Starry Compass, a magical artifact that had been lost for centuries. The Starry Compass was said to have the power to guide anyone to their heart's desire. It was hidden in a mystical land beyond the forest, protected by enchanted creatures and magical puzzles. "I need someone with a pure heart and a brave spirit to help me find it," Lyra said. "Will you join me on this quest?" Finn, eager for an adventure, agreed without hesitation. Lyra sprinkled some stardust over Finn, and they set off on their journey. Their first challenge was to cross the Whispering River, which was known for its mysterious currents and enchanted creatures. As they reached the riverbank, a group of playful water sprites appeared, their laughter echoing through the forest. "Welcome to the Whispering River," said one sprite. "To cross, you must solve our riddle. Answer correctly, and the path will be revealed." Lyra and Finn listened carefully as the sprite spoke the riddle. "I have cities, but no houses. I have mountains, but no trees. I have water, but no fish. What am I?" Finn thought hard, and then his eyes lit up with realization. "A map," he exclaimed. The sprites cheered, and a shimmering bridge made of moonlight appeared across the river. Finn and Lyra crossed safely to the other side. Their next challenge took them to the Forest of Echoes, a magical forest where every sound was repeated by the trees. In the center of the forest stood a grand oak tree with a door carved into its trunk. The door was locked with a combination of melodies. Lyra whispered, "We must play the right tune to open the door. Listen to the echoes and follow their melody." Finn listened carefully to the repeating echoes of the forest. He remembered the lullabies his grandmother used to sing and began humming a gentle tune. The echoes harmonized with his melody, and the grand oak tree's door slowly creaked open. Inside the oak tree, they found a golden chest with intricate designs. Finn opened the chest, revealing a shimmering star-shaped key, the key to the Starry Compass. Lyra's eyes sparkled with joy. "The Starry Compass must be hidden in the Celestial Caves," Lyra explained. "We're almost there." With the star-shaped key in hand, Finn and Lyra made their way to the Celestial Caves, which were illuminated by the soft glow of countless crystals. Inside the caves, they faced one final test, a labyrinth of mirrors that reflected light in every direction. To find their way, they had to use the star-shaped key to align the mirrors and create a beam of light that would guide them to the hidden chamber. After some effort, Finn and Lyra succeeded in aligning the mirrors. The beam of light revealed a hidden passage leading to a small, enchanting chamber. In the center of the chamber stood the Starry Compass, glowing with a warm, golden light. Lyra and Finn approached the compass. As they touched it, the compass spun gently and then pointed towards a distant part of the sky. The compass's glow brightened, filling the chamber with a soft, comforting light. "You have done it, Finn!" Lyra exclaimed. "The Starry Compass is now in our hands. With this, we can guide people to their heart's desires and bring hope and joy to the world." Lyra thanked Finn for his bravery and kind heart. As a token of gratitude, she gifted him a small star-shaped pendant that would always remind him of their adventure. As Finn returned to Starlight, the village was abuzz with excitement about his journey. He shared his tale, and the villagers celebrated the return of the Starry Compass. From that day on, Finn was known as the boy who helped find the Starry Compass. The compass's magic brought prosperity and hope to the kingdom, and Finn's bravery became a cherished story passed down through generations. And every night, when Finn looked up at the stars, he felt a special connection to the magical adventure he had experienced and the fairy who had guided him on his journey. Once upon a time, in a world where time flowed with a gentle rhythm, there existed a hidden realm known as the Clockwork Kingdom. This kingdom was unique, for everything within it, from the grand castles to the smallest flowers, was made of intricate gears, cogs, and shimmering metals. The kingdom was ruled by the wise and kind Clockmaker King, who ensured that every gear and cog worked in perfect harmony to keep time flowing smoothly. In the Clockwork Kingdom lived a young girl named Elara. Elara was not a princess, but she had a special gift. she could hear the gentle hum of the gears and cogs that made up the kingdom. This gift allowed her to understand the intricate workings of the kingdom's magical machinery. Elara loved the Clockwork Kingdom dearly and spent her days exploring its many wonders. One day, a mysterious problem arose. The Grand Clock Tower, which stood at the heart of the kingdom and was crucial for keeping time, began to slow down. The once steady tick-tock of the clock became irregular, and the gears inside the tower started to grind and seize. Without the Grand Clock Tower functioning properly, time in the kingdom would soon come to a halt, and everything would fall into chaos. The Clockmaker King called upon his best engineers and artisans to solve the problem, but none could fix the malfunction. The king's face grew grave as he realized that the problem might be beyond even their combined skills. Elara, sensing the urgency and knowing she had a special connection with the kingdom's magic, approached the king with determination. "Your Majesty," Elara said, "I believe I can help. I have a gift that allows me to understand the gears and cogs of our kingdom in ways others might not. May I try to solve the problem?" The king, though hesitant, agreed. Elara set off toward the Grand Clock Tower with a heart full of hope and determination. As she approached the tower, she could feel the tension and distress of the gears. She carefully examined the mechanisms, listening to the subtle changes in their hum. In the depths of the clock tower, Elara discovered an ancient, dusty gear that was unlike any she had seen before. It was intricately engraved with mysterious symbols and seemed to be stuck, preventing the other gears from moving smoothly. Elara realized that this ancient gear must be the source of the problem. She carefully cleaned and polished the gear, but it still wouldn't move. Elara remembered a legend about a forgotten spell that could revive ancient magic. According to the legend, the spell required a drop of starlight and a heartfelt wish. Elara knew that she had to find a way to obtain these. As night fell, Elara climbed to the top of the Clockwork Kingdom's tallest tower, where the stars twinkled brilliantly. With her heart full of hope, she made a wish upon the stars, asking them to help restore the magic of the ancient gear. A gentle, shimmering light descended from the sky, touching the gear and filling it with a warm, soothing glow. With the starlight's magic reviving the gear, it began to turn smoothly, and the other gears in the Grand Clock Tower started to move in harmony once more. The clock's hands resumed their steady tick-tock, and the kingdom's time flowed seamlessly again. Elara returned to the Clockmaker King, who greeted her with immense gratitude. "You have saved our kingdom, Elara. Your bravery and connection to our magic have restored the harmony we thought we had lost." The king and the people of the Clockwork Kingdom celebrated Elara's success with a grand festival, where the air was filled with the cheerful sound of ticking clocks and the gleaming sparkle of clockwork decorations. Elara was honored as a hero, and the Clockmaker King appointed her as the kingdom's new chief timekeeper, a position that allowed her to continue her work in maintaining the harmony of the kingdom's time. The Clockwork Kingdom thrived once more, its gears and cogs working perfectly in sync. Elara's gift and bravery had preserved the magic and balance of the kingdom, and her tale became a cherished legend. And so, the Clockwork Kingdom continued to shine, its time flowing gracefully and its people living in harmony, thanks to the bravery of one girl who listened to the hum of the gears and followed her heart. The end. In a quaint village surrounded by rolling hills and lush forests, there was a legend of a magical compass that could lead its bearer to their heart's deepest desire. The compass was said to be hidden in the heart of the Whispering Woods, a place known for its elusive nature and enchanted creatures. In this village lived a brave and kind-hearted young boy named Finn. Finn had always dreamed of exploring the world beyond his village, but his family's modest means kept him close to home. One day, Finn stumbled upon an old, dusty map in the attic of his family's cottage. The map had strange markings and led to a place called the Whispering Woods. Excited by the possibility of adventure, Finn decided to follow the map in hopes of finding the enchanted compass. As Finn set off on his journey, the village elder gave him a piece of advice: the Whispering Woods is a place of both wonder and challenge. To find the compass, you must follow your heart and trust in the kindness of others. With the elder's words in mind, Finn entered the Whispering Woods. The trees towered high above him, their leaves rustling softly as if whispering secrets. The path was winding and seemed to change with every step, but Finn kept his eyes on the map and his heart open to the magic around him. After walking for hours, Finn came across a clearing where a majestic, ancient oak tree stood. The tree's bark was covered in intricate carvings of animals and stars, and its branches seemed to reach out towards him. As Finn approached, he heard a soft, melodic humming coming from the tree. The tree spoke in a gentle voice, "To find the compass, you must first solve the riddle of the Whispering Woods." Finn listened carefully as the tree continued, "I am not alive, but I grow. I do not have lungs, but I need air. I do not have a mouth, but water kills me. What am I?" Finn thought hard about the riddle. After a moment, he answered, "A fire." The tree's branches swayed, and a hidden door in its trunk opened, revealing a spiral staircase leading down into the earth. With a mix of excitement and trepidation, Finn descended the staircase. At the bottom, he found himself in a beautiful underground cavern filled with glowing crystals and shimmering pools. In the center of the cavern was a pedestal with a golden compass resting on it. The compass had an ornate design and a glass cover that sparkled with an ethereal light. As Finn approached the compass, he noticed a gentle voice speaking from the shadows. A fairy with delicate wings and a shimmering gown emerged. Her name was Lyra, and she was the guardian of the enchanted compass. "The compass you seek is indeed magical," Lyra said. "But it can only be used by someone with a pure heart and noble intentions. To prove yourself worthy, you must perform an act of kindness in this enchanted realm." Finn looked around the cavern and saw a small, injured creature, a tiny dragon with iridescent scales and a wounded wing. Without hesitation, Finn gently picked up the dragon and examined its injury. Using the herbs and salves he had brought with him, he carefully tended to the dragon's wound. As Finn worked, the dragon's scales began to glow softly, and its breathing became steady. When Finn was finished, the dragon looked up at him with grateful eyes. Lyra, watching the scene, smiled warmly. "You have shown great compassion and kindness. The compass is yours to use." The fairy handed Finn the enchanted compass. As he held it, the compass began to glow brightly, and its needle swung around until it pointed towards the north. Finn knew that this was the direction he needed to follow. With the compass guiding him, Finn made his way out of the cavern and back to the surface. As he walked, he found that the compass led him to various hidden wonders of the Whispering Woods, sparkling streams, magical blades, and friendly creatures. Each discovery brought him joy and a deeper appreciation for the magic of the world around him. After a long journey, Finn arrived at a breathtaking viewpoint overlooking the vast landscape beyond his village. The compass had led him to a place where he could see the beauty and adventure that lay ahead. Finn realized that his heart's deepest desire was not just to explore the world, but to share its wonders with others. With this newfound understanding, Finn returned to his village with stories of his adventure and the magical compass. He used the compass to help guide others on their own journeys, teaching them about the importance of kindness, curiosity, and the magic that exists in every corner of the world. And so, the legend of the enchanted compass lived on, inspiring many to follow their hearts and discover the magic within themselves. Finn's adventure became a cherished tale, reminding everyone that sometimes, the true magic lies in the kindness we show and the wonders we share with those around us. The enchanted lantern in a faraway land near the mountains touched the sky and the forests whispered ancient secrets. There was a village named Lumina. Lumina was a place of magic and wonder, known for its vibrant festivals and glowing lanterns that floated high into the night sky. These lanterns were not just for show, they were said to carry wishes to the stars. In this village lived a young girl named Mira. Mira was known for her bright smile and her boundless curiosity. Her greatest dream was to see the world beyond Lumina and to find the legendary enchanted lantern, a mystical artifact said to grant a single wish to anyone who found it. The mysterious map. One crisp autumn evening, as the village prepared for the annual Lantern Festival, Mira discovered an old, dusty map hidden in her grandmother's attic. The map was adorned with intricate symbols and a glowing path leading to the enchanted lantern. Excited by her discovery, Mira decided to embark on a quest to find it. Before she left, Mira's grandmother gave her a small, silver locket that had been passed down through generations. This locket, her grandmother said, will guide you in times of need. Trust in its light and your heart. The journey begins with the map in hand and the locket around her neck. Mira set out on her adventure. The map led her through dense forests, over sparkling rivers, and up steep, misty mountains. Along the way, Mira encountered several magical creatures, a wise old owl, a playful brook sprite, and a gentle giant named Gorm. Each creature offered Mira a piece of advice. The owl spoke of the importance of wisdom and patience, the sprite warned her of hidden challenges, and Gorm advised her to rely on her courage and kindness. The hidden cavern. After days of traveling, Mira arrived at the base of a towering mountain. The map showed that the enchanted lantern was hidden in a secret cavern within the mountain. As she ventured into the dark cavern, the locket began to glow softly, illuminating her path. Inside the cavern, Mira faced a series of trials: a maze of glowing vines, a river of shimmering mist, and a bridge guarded by a riddle-speaking dragon. With the help of the locket's light and her newfound wisdom, Mira overcame each challenge with grace and determination. The enchanted lantern. At last, Mira reached the heart of the cavern. There, on a pedestal bathed in a soft, golden light, was the enchanted lantern. It was more beautiful than she had ever imagined, with delicate patterns of starlight etched into its surface. Mira approached the lantern, her heart pounding with anticipation. She took a deep breath and made her wish: I wish for the happiness and well-being of my village and everyone in it. As soon as she spoke her wish, the enchanted lantern glowed brightly, and a warm, comforting light filled the cavern. The light seemed to flow through Mira, filling her with a sense of peace and joy. A magical return. When Mira returned to Lumina, she was greeted with astonishment and celebration. The village was flourishing like never before, crops were bountiful, the rivers sparkled with clarity, and the lanterns floated higher and brighter than ever. Mira's bravery and selflessness had brought immense joy and prosperity to her village. The villagers celebrated with a grand festival, lighting lanterns that soared into the night sky, each one carrying a piece of their gratitude and love. A lasting legacy. The story of Mira and the enchanted lantern became a cherished tale in Lumina. Mira was remembered not just as a brave adventurer but as a beacon of hope and kindness. The locket she had used on her journey was placed in a special place in the village square, a reminder of the magic that lies in every act of selflessness and every wish made from the heart. And so, the village of Lumina continued to shine brightly under the light of its lanterns, forever guided by the courage and kindness of a young girl who had sought to bring happiness to her world. Once upon a time, in the heart of the flourishing kingdom of Illyria, there lived a kind and curious princess named Isabella. Isabella was loved by all for her gentle heart and adventurous spirit. She spent her days exploring the vast palace gardens, learning about plants, animals, and the natural world from the royal gardener, Old Master Thorn. One evening, as the sun was setting and casting a golden glow over the kingdom, Master Thorn shared a secret with Isabella. "Your Highness," he began in a hushed voice, "there is a legend of a hidden garden within these palace grounds. It is said to be filled with the rarest and most magical plants, capable of healing any ailment and bringing joy to the saddest heart. But it can only be found by someone with a pure heart and a deep love for nature." Isabella's eyes sparkled with excitement. Determined to find the hidden garden and see its wonders, she decided to begin her search the very next morning. At dawn, Isabella packed a small satchel with essentials, a flask of water, some bread and cheese, and a small notebook for her discoveries. With a farewell to her parents, King Edmund and Queen Amelia, she set off with a heart full of hope and curiosity. Isabella explored the gardens meticulously, paying attention to every detail. She visited the rose garden, the lily pond, and the orchard, but found no trace of the hidden garden. As she wandered deeper into the grounds, she came across an old, ivy-covered gate that she had never noticed before. The gate was slightly ajar, and beyond it lay a narrow, winding path. With a sense of anticipation, Isabella stepped through the gate and followed the path. It led her into a dense thicket of trees, where the sunlight barely penetrated. As she walked, she heard a soft, melodic humming coming from deeper within the forest. Intrigued, she followed the sound until she reached a clearing. In the center of the clearing stood an ancient oak tree, its branches spreading wide and its leaves shimmering with a silvery light. At the base of the tree sat a small, delicate fairy, her wings sparkling like diamonds in the dappled sunlight. "Welcome, Princess Isabella," the fairy said with a warm smile. "I am Leora, guardian of the hidden garden. You have been chosen to enter because of your pure heart and your love for nature. Follow me, and you shall see the wonders of the hidden garden." Leora led Isabella through a hidden archway in the oak tree. On the other side was the most breathtaking garden Isabella had ever seen. Flowers of every color imaginable bloomed in perfect harmony, their petals glowing with an otherworldly light. Trees bore fruit that sparkled like jewels, and streams of crystal-clear water flowed melodiously through the garden. Isabella wandered through the garden in awe, touching the flowers gently and tasting the sweet, magical fruits. She felt a sense of peace and joy unlike anything she had ever known. Leora explained that the garden's magic came from the love and care of those who cherished and protected it. As they walked, Leora showed Isabella a small, withered plant in the corner of the garden. "This plant represents the sorrows and pains of the world," Leora said. "To keep the garden thriving, we must also heal this plant." Isabella knelt beside the withered plant, her heart filling with compassion. She sang a soft lullaby her mother used to sing to her, and as her gentle voice filled the air, the plant began to revive. Its leaves turned green, and it bloomed with beautiful, fragrant flowers. "You have done well, Princess," Leora said, her eyes shining with gratitude. "The hidden garden is now stronger because of your kindness." Isabella spent many more hours in the hidden garden, learning about its plants and their magical properties. Before she left, Leora gave her a small vial of sparkling water from the garden's central fountain. "This water has the power to heal and bring happiness," Leora explained. "Use it wisely." When Isabella returned to the palace, she shared her incredible adventure with her parents and the royal court. She used the magical water to heal the sick and bring joy to those in sorrow. The kingdom of Illyria prospered, and the people were happier and healthier than ever before. Princess Isabella continued to visit the hidden garden, always welcomed by Leora and the magical creatures who lived there. She cared for the garden and its plants, ensuring its magic would never fade. The legend of the hidden garden and the kind princess who discovered it spread far and wide, inspiring others to cherish nature and act with kindness. And so, Princess Isabella and the kingdom of Illyria lived in harmony with the natural world, their hearts forever touched by the magic of the hidden garden. The end. Once upon a time in the bustling town of Willowbrook, there stood a quaint old amusement park known for its magnificent carousel. Unlike any other, this carousel was rumored to be enchanted. It was said that if you rode it under the light of the full moon, you could visit places you'd only ever dreamed of. One crisp autumn evening, a young girl named Lily stumbled upon the park as she was walking home from school. Her heart leaped with excitement when she saw the carousel, its painted horses gleaming under the twilight sky. Lily had heard the stories about the magical carousel and had always wished to see if they were true. As the sun set and the moon began to rise, Lily approached the carousel. She noticed a beautiful, silver horse with a mane like flowing moonlight. It looked different from the other horses, almost as if it was calling out to her. Lily hesitated for a moment but then decided to take a ride. Just as she mounted the silver horse, the carousel began to spin slowly. The music that played was soft and magical, like a lullaby carried on the wind. The carousel started to whirl faster and faster, and Lily felt a tingling sensation. The world around her became a blur of colors and lights. Suddenly, the spinning stopped. Lily looked around and saw she was no longer in the park. She was in a lush, enchanted forest filled with trees that sparkled like diamonds. The air was fragrant with the scent of blooming flowers, and the ground was covered in soft, glowing moss. Lily could hardly believe her eyes. A gentle voice spoke from behind her. "Welcome, Lily," it said. She turned to see a fairy with shimmering wings and a kind smile. "I'm Ilara, the guardian of the Forest of Dreams. This is a special place where wishes come true and dreams come alive." Lily's eyes widened with wonder. "How do you know my name?" Elara smiled. The carousel is magic. It knows the hearts of those who ride it. I've been watching over it for a long time, waiting for someone like you to come. The fairy guided Lily through the forest, showing her marvelous sights, trees that whispered secrets, rivers of liquid gold, and flowers that danced on their stems. They came to a clearing where a grand banquet was set up, filled with delicious treats and glowing lanterns hanging from the trees. As they feasted, Elara told Lily about the history of the Forest of Dreams. It was a place where dreams and reality blended, and anyone with a pure heart could visit. Lily listened with wide eyes, fascinated by the tales of magic and adventure. After the feast, Elara led Lily to a shimmering pond. This is the Heart Pond, the fairy explained. It reflects the true desires of those who look into it. Lily peered into the water and saw her reflection smiling back at her. But she also saw images of her family and friends, their faces full of joy and love. She realized that her greatest wish was not for grand adventures, but for the happiness and well-being of those she cared about. Elara nodded in understanding. The magic of the carousel reflects what is in your heart. Your wish for the happiness of others is truly special. As the moon reached its zenith, Elara took Lily back to the carousel. It's time for you to return, she said softly. But remember, the magic of the Forest of Dreams will always be with you. Lily mounted the silver horse once more, and the carousel began to spin. The forest faded away, and she was back in the park, the morning sun beginning to rise. She looked around, feeling a sense of peace and wonder. From that day on, Lily visited the carousel often, not to ride it, but to remember the magic she had experienced. She used the lessons she learned to bring joy and kindness to her everyday life. The enchanted carousel continued to spin, a beacon of hope and dreams, waiting for the next pure-hearted soul to discover its wonders. And so, Lily's heart remained forever touched by the magic of the carousel, reminding her that the truest magic of all is the love and happiness we share with others. The end. Once upon a time, in a tranquil village surrounded by rolling hills and serene meadows, there was a secluded garden known as the Moonlit Garden. This garden was famous for its flowers that only bloomed under the light of the full moon. The flowers were said to have magical properties, and the villagers believed they brought good fortune and joy to those who tended them. For years, the Moonlit Garden had been cared for by a kind old woman named Elara. Her delicate touch and gentle care kept the garden flourishing, and the villagers often came to her for advice and blessings. However, one fateful night, a powerful storm swept through the village, and when the morning came, the Moonlit Garden was left in disarray. The once beautiful flowers were wilted and gray, and the magical glow had vanished. Desperate to restore the garden's magic, Elara confided in a brave young girl named Ava. Ava was known for her adventurous spirit and her deep love for nature. Elara explained that the garden's magic depended on a hidden, mystical artifact called the Moonstone, which had gone missing during the storm. The Moonstone was the key to the garden's enchantment, and without it, the garden's magic could not be restored. Determined to help, Ava set out on a quest to find the Moonstone and save the Moonlit Garden. The first challenge, the Enchanted Forest. Ava's journey took her to the Enchanted Forest, a dense woodland known for its whimsical and magical inhabitants. As she ventured deeper into the forest, she encountered a mischievous fox with fur that shimmered like stardust. To pass through the Enchanted Forest, the fox said with a sly grin, "You must solve this riddle. I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with the wind. What am I?" Ava pondered the riddle for a moment and answered, "An echo." The fox's eyes sparkled with approval, and it pointed out a hidden path through the forest. "Follow this path," the fox instructed, "and it will lead you to the next challenge." The second challenge, the Crystal Lake. Following the fox's directions, Ava arrived at the Crystal Lake, a serene and reflective body of water surrounded by towering trees. The lake was guarded by a wise old turtle whose shell was adorned with glistening gemstones. To cross the Crystal Lake, the turtle said, "You must prove your wisdom. Answer this question. What has cities but no houses, mountains but no trees, and water but no fish? Ava thought carefully and replied, a map. The turtle's eyes gleamed with satisfaction, and it created a shimmering bridge of light across the lake. Ava crossed the lake, her heart filled with hope and determination. The third challenge, the Cave of Shadows. On the other side of the lake, Ava found the Cave of Shadows, a dark cavern filled with swirling, mysterious shadows. At the entrance of the cave was an ancient door covered in intricate carvings. A voice echoed from within the cave, to open this door and find the moonstone, you must reveal your true intentions. Share your deepest wish and prove that you seek it with a pure heart. Ava took a deep breath and spoke sincerely, my deepest wish is to restore the moonlit garden's magic so that the village can once again be filled with joy and wonder. The cave's walls began to glow with a soft, silvery light, and the ancient door slowly creaked open to reveal the moonstone resting on a pedestal. Its gentle, moonlit glow illuminated the cavern, filling it with a soothing, magical light. The revelation, restoring the moonlit garden. With the moonstone in hand, Ava returned to the moonlit garden. As she placed the moonstone in its rightful place at the center of the garden, a wondrous transformation took place. The flowers began to bloom once more, their petals glowing with vibrant colors, and the garden was bathed in a magical light that shimmered under the moon. The villagers gathered in awe as the moonlit garden was restored to its former splendor. Ilara thanked Ava for her bravery and selflessness. And the garden's magic brought renewed joy and fortune to the village. The tale of Ava's quest became a cherished story in the village, a reminder of the power of determination, kindness, and the magic that lies within a pure heart. Under the rejuvenated light of the moonlit garden, the village flourished, forever grateful for the young girl who had restored their magical haven. The magic of Willow's Grove. Once upon a time, in a land of rolling hills and blooming meadows, there was a small village nestled beside an ancient forest. In this village lived a curious boy named Oliver. Oliver loved exploring and had a special fascination with the old stories and legends of his village, especially the tale of Willow's Grove. According to the legend, Willow's Grove was a hidden part of the forest where the trees were enchanted and had the power to grant wishes. However, the entrance to this magical grove was hidden and could only be found by someone who truly believed in magic and had a pure heart. One bright autumn morning, Oliver decided to search for Willow's Grove. He packed a small satchel with food, a map, and his trusty compass, then set off into the forest. The trees were ablaze with colors of red and gold, and the air was filled with the scent of fallen leaves. As Oliver ventured deeper into the forest, he came across an old, gnarled oak tree with a large hollow at its base. Curious, he peered inside and found a small, intricately carved wooden box. Inside the box was a note that read, "To find Willow's Grove, follow the whispers of the trees and listen to the songs of the birds." Determined, Oliver continued his journey, keeping his ears open for any whispers and songs. The forest was alive with the chatter of birds and the rustling of leaves, but he focused on the sounds that seemed to guide him forward. After walking for hours, Oliver came to a clearing where a circle of ancient, majestic trees stood. They were unlike any trees he had seen before, with silver leaves that shimmered in the sunlight. As he approached, he noticed a gentle, melodious hum emanating from the trees. It was as if they were singing a soft, harmonious tune. Oliver took a deep breath and closed his eyes, allowing the music of the trees to fill his senses. As he listened, the hum seemed to form words, "Welcome, seeker of magic. The path to Willow's Grove lies before you." With renewed hope, Oliver followed the melody, which seemed to grow stronger as he walked. The ground beneath him began to glow with a faint, golden light, and he soon found himself at the edge of a hidden glade. In the center of the glade stood an enormous willow tree with branches that cascaded to the ground like a shimmering curtain. The willow tree's bark was adorned with delicate, glowing runes, and its leaves sparkled like stars. Oliver approached the tree with reverence, feeling a sense of awe and wonder. As he reached out to touch the bark, the runes began to glow brighter, and a soft, melodious voice spoke. "Welcome, Oliver. You have found Willow's Grove, a place where wishes are woven into the fabric of dreams. What is it that you seek? Oliver hesitated for a moment, then spoke from his heart. I wish to bring joy and prosperity to my village. We have been facing hardships, and I want to help them find happiness and abundance. The willow tree's branches swayed gently, and the air filled with a warm, golden light. Your wish comes from a pure heart, the voice said. To fulfill it, you must make a gift of your own. Place a small token of your village's love at the base of the tree, and the magic of Willow's Grove will begin to work. Oliver thought for a moment and then took out a small, handcrafted wooden charm from his satchel. It was a simple heart-shaped pendant, intricately carved and painted with vibrant colors. He had made it himself, and it symbolized the love and unity of his village. With a sense of gratitude, Oliver placed the charm at the base of the willow tree. As soon as he did, the ground began to shimmer, and a gentle breeze carried the charm away, as if it were being lifted by an invisible hand. The golden light from the tree enveloped the entire glade, and Oliver felt a sense of peace and fulfillment. Your gift has been accepted, the voice said. Return to your village, and you will find that the magic of Willow's Grove has already begun to work. Oliver made his way back to the village, his heart light and hopeful. As he approached, he was amazed to see the once barren fields now lush and green. The villagers were busy harvesting a bountiful crop, and the air was filled with laughter and joy. It was as if the land itself had been transformed, bringing prosperity and happiness to everyone. The villagers greeted Oliver with cheers and gratitude, and he shared the story of his journey and the magic of Willow's Grove. They celebrated with a grand feast, and Oliver's wish for joy and abundance had come true. From that day on, the village thrived, and the legend of Willow's Grove lived on as a symbol of hope and magic. The villagers continued to honor the grove and the enchanting willow tree that had helped them in their time of need. And so, Oliver's adventure became a cherished tale, reminding everyone that true magic lies not only in enchanted places but also in the love, unity, and selflessness of the heart. And they all lived happily ever after. I hope you enjoyed this fairy tale. Once upon a time, in a peaceful kingdom surrounded by rolling hills and lush forests, there was a small village named Dreamhaven. The village was known for its enchanting beauty, with houses built from gingerbread and gardens filled with flowers that bloomed in every color of the rainbow. But the most magical feature of Dreamhaven was a grand, old oak tree in the village square, known as the Tree of Wishes. The Tree of Wishes was believed to hold a magical lantern that could grant a single wish to anyone who truly needed it. However, the lantern had been lost for many years, and the village had not seen its magic for quite some time. The villagers often spoke of how the lantern's light had once brought prosperity and happiness to Dreamhaven. One day, a young girl named Lila, known for her adventurous spirit and kind heart, overheard the villagers discussing their longing for the lantern's magic. She learned that the lantern had been hidden in a forgotten part of the enchanted forest, far beyond the boundaries of Dreamhaven. Determined to find the lantern and help her village, Lila decided to embark on a quest. With a small satchel filled with supplies and a map she had found in an old book, Lila set out into the enchanted forest. The forest was known for its magical creatures and mysterious paths, but Lila was not afraid. She followed the map's directions, winding her way through the towering trees and sparkling streams. As Lila ventured deeper into the forest, she encountered a friendly squirrel named Nutmeg who was busily gathering acorns. Nutmeg noticed Lila's determination and offered to help her find the lantern. Follow the path of glowing mushrooms, Nutmeg said. They will lead you to the ancient ruins where the lantern is hidden. Lila thanked Nutmeg and followed the glowing mushrooms that illuminated the path ahead. She soon arrived at the ancient ruins, where ivy-covered stone walls and crumbling columns stood as remnants of a long-lost civilization. In the center of the ruins was a large, ornate door covered in intricate carvings. The door had a riddle inscribed on it, which Lila needed to solve to gain entry. I am not alive, but I grow. I don't have lungs, but I need air. I don't have a mouth, but water kills me. What am I? Lila thought carefully and answered, fire. The door creaked open, revealing a hidden chamber bathed in a soft, golden light. At the center of the chamber stood a pedestal with the long-lost lantern of dreams resting upon it. The lantern was covered in dust but still radiated a gentle glow. As Lila approached the lantern, a gentle voice echoed through the chamber. To claim the lantern, you must show a heart full of selflessness and courage. Lila placed her hand on the lantern and said, I wish to bring joy and prosperity back to my village, Dreamhaven. I want to help everyone in need. The lantern's light grew brighter, filling the chamber with a warm, magical glow. The gentle voice continued, You have shown great courage and selflessness. The lantern's magic will now return to your village. With the lantern in hand, Lila made her way back to Dreamhaven. The villagers gathered around as Lila presented the lantern. As she held it up, the lantern's light spread throughout the village, casting a beautiful, shimmering glow over every home and garden. The lantern's magic brought renewed joy and prosperity to Dreamhaven. Crops flourished, gardens bloomed with even more vibrant colors, and the villagers felt a deep sense of happiness and contentment. Lila's bravery and kindness became the stuff of legends in Dreamhaven. The village celebrated her return and the restoration of the Lantern of Dreams. From that day on, the lantern was kept in the Tree of Wishes, a symbol of the magic that exists in selflessness and the power of a single wish made with a pure heart. And so, Dreamhaven thrived under the enchantment of the lantern, and the story of Lila's quest was passed down through generations, reminding everyone that true magic lies in the willingness to help others. Once upon a time, in the enchanting land of Arvindor, there was a small, hidden village called Verdant Glade. Nestled between towering mountains and dense forests, Verdant Glade was a place of peace and prosperity, where the people lived in harmony with nature. The village was known for its vibrant flowers, lush fields, and the crystal-clear river that flowed through it. In the heart of the village lived a young girl named Eloan. Eloan was kind-hearted and adventurous, with a deep love for the natural world. She spent her days exploring the forests and meadows, always accompanied by her loyal companion, a clever fox named Finn. Eloan's mother, Alicia, was the village healer, and her father, Thorn, was a skilled blacksmith. They taught her the importance of balance and respect for all living things. One fateful day, a shadow fell over Verdant Glade. The river that had always flowed so abundantly began to dry up, and the once lush fields started to wither. The villagers grew anxious as their crops failed and their wells ran dry. Desperate for answers, they turned to the ancient legends of Arvindor. According to the legend, high atop the misty peaks lived the Golden Phoenix, a majestic bird with the power to bring life and abundance wherever it flew. Its golden feathers were said to shine like the sun, and its song could awaken the earth itself. The villagers believed that only the Golden Phoenix could save Verdant Glade from the impending drought. With the hopes of the village resting on her shoulders, Eloan decided to embark on a journey to find the Golden Phoenix. Accompanied by Finn, she set off at dawn, carrying a small satchel of provisions and a heart full of determination. Eloan and Finn traveled through the dense forests, where the trees whispered secrets and ancient creatures roamed. They crossed babbling brooks and climbed steep hills, always moving towards the distant misty peaks. Along the way, they encountered many challenges, but Eloan's courage and Finn's cleverness saw them through. As they neared the misty peaks, they entered a dark and treacherous forest known as the Shadow Wood. The air was thick with fog, and the trees seemed to close in around them. In the heart of the forest, they encountered a mysterious figure clad in a cloak of shadows. It was the guardian of the forest, an ancient spirit who protected the woods. "Who dares to enter my domain?" the guardian's voice echoed through the trees. "I am Eloan of Verdant Glade," Eloan replied bravely. "I seek the Golden Phoenix to save my village from a terrible drought." The guardian studied her with piercing eyes. "Your heart is pure, but the path you seek is fraught with danger. To find the Golden Phoenix, you must first prove your worth by passing 3 trials." Eloan nodded, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The guardian led her to a clearing where the first trial awaited. "Your first trial is a test of wisdom. Solve this riddle, and you may proceed." The guardian recited the riddle. "I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with wind. What am I?" Eloan thought for a moment, then smiled. "You are an echo. The guardian nodded in approval. You are correct. Now, for the second trial, a test of courage. You must cross the Bridge of Shadows, where many have faltered. Iloan and Finn approached the Bridge of Shadows, a narrow, rickety bridge spanning a deep chasm. The wind howled, and the bridge swayed dangerously. Summoning all her courage, Iloan took a deep breath and began to cross, step by step, with Finn by her side. The journey was harrowing, but their determination carried them to the other side. The guardian met them with a smile. You have shown great courage. For your final trial, a test of kindness. In the depths of the forest lives a creature in great pain. Find it and ease its suffering. Iloan and Finn ventured deeper into the forest, following faint sounds of distress. They discovered a wounded stag, its leg caught in a hunter's trap. Iloan approached slowly, speaking softly to calm the frightened animal. With Finn's help, she carefully freed the stag and tended to its wounds using her mother's healing herbs. The stag, grateful and healed, bowed its head to Iloan before disappearing into the forest. The guardian appeared once more, his eyes filled with respect. You have proven your wisdom, courage, and kindness. You are worthy to seek the Golden Phoenix. The guardian led Iloan and Finn to the edge of the misty peaks. Beyond these mountains lies the phoenix's nest. Go with my blessing, and may you find what you seek. Iloan and Finn climbed the misty peaks, the air growing colder and thinner with each step. At last, they reached the summit, where they found a hidden valley bathed in golden light. In the center of the valley stood a magnificent tree, its branches glittering with gold. At the top of the tree perched the golden phoenix, its feathers shining like the sun. The phoenix descended gracefully, its eyes filled with ancient wisdom. Why have you come, brave Iloan? It asked in a voice that resonated like music. I seek your help, noble phoenix, Iloan replied, bowing respectfully. My village is suffering from a terrible drought, and I hope you can bring life and abundance back to our land. The golden phoenix regarded her with kind eyes. Your heart is pure, and your journey has shown your true character. I will help you. The phoenix spread its wings and took flight, soaring high above the misty peaks. It sang a beautiful, haunting melody that echoed through the valleys and forests. As it flew, golden feathers fell from its wings, touching the earth below. Wherever the feathers landed, life sprang forth, rivers flowed, flowers bloomed, and fields turned green once more. Iloan and Finn returned to Verdant Glade, where the villagers watched in awe as the land was restored to its former glory. The river flowed abundantly, the crops flourished, and the air was filled with the sweet scent of blooming flowers. Queen Seraphina, awakened from her curse, greeted Iloan with gratitude. You have saved our village, brave Iloan. Your courage and kindness have brought the blessings of the Golden Phoenix to our land. The villagers rejoiced, celebrating Iloan's bravery and the return of prosperity. The legend of Iloan and the Golden Phoenix spread far and wide, inspiring others to believe in the power of wisdom, courage, and kindness. And so, Verdant Glade thrived once more, forever grateful to the young girl and her loyal companion who saved their village with their pure hearts and unwavering determination. The end. Once upon a time, in a quaint village nestled between majestic mountains and a sparkling river, there was a legend of a mystical flower known as the moonflower. This rare flower bloomed only once every 100 years under the light of the full moon, and its petals were said to hold the power to reveal a hidden kingdom of wonder and magic. In this village lived a young girl named Arya, who was known for her curiosity and kind heart. Arya had always been fascinated by the stories of the moonflower and the hidden kingdom it was said to unveil. The villagers spoke of a time when their land was lush and bountiful, but now, it had grown dry and barren. Arya believed that finding the moonflower and the hidden kingdom could restore the land's magic and prosperity. One evening, as the full moon rose high in the sky, casting a silvery glow over the village, Arya set out on a quest to find the moonflower. Armed with a small lantern and a heart full of hope, she ventured into the forest where the flower was rumored to bloom. The first challenge, the glowing meadow. Arya's journey led her to a glowing meadow, where flowers shone with a soft, otherworldly light. In the center of the meadow stood a wise old tortoise with a shell that seemed to reflect the moonlight. To proceed through the glowing meadow, the tortoise said in a voice as slow and steady as time, "You must solve this riddle. I can fly without wings, I can cry without eyes, wherever I go, darkness flies. What am I?" Arya thought deeply and answered, "A cloud." The tortoise nodded in approval and pointed to a path that led out of the meadow. "Follow this path to reach the next challenge," the tortoise advised. The second challenge, the Whispering Stream. Arya followed the path and soon arrived at the Whispering Stream, a gentle stream where the water seemed to murmur secrets as it flowed. The stream was guarded by a graceful water nymph who danced on the surface of the water. To cross the Whispering Stream, the nymph said with a musical voice, "You must answer this question. The more you take, the more you leave behind." "What am I?" Arya pondered the question and replied, "Footsteps." The nymph's eyes sparkled with delight, and she waved her hand, creating a shimmering bridge of moonlight across the stream. Arya carefully crossed the stream, feeling more determined with each step. The third challenge, the Hidden Gate. On the other side of the stream, Arya found herself at the base of a tall, ancient oak tree with a large, ornate door carved into its trunk. The door was adorned with symbols of stars and moons. A gentle voice echoed from the door, "To open this gate and find the Moonflower, you must reveal your true self. Share your deepest wish and prove that you seek it with sincerity." Arya took a deep breath and spoke with honesty, "My deepest wish is to find the Moonflower and discover the hidden kingdom it reveals. I want to restore my village's land and bring back its magic and prosperity." The ancient door slowly creaked open, revealing a magical glade bathed in the light of the full moon. In the center of the glade was the Moonflower, its petals glowing with an ethereal light. The revelation, the hidden kingdom. With the Moonflower in her hands, Arya returned to her village. As she held the flower up to the moonlight, its magic began to spread, casting a radiant glow over the land. The once dry fields became lush and green, the river sparkled with renewed vitality, and the village was filled with a sense of wonder and joy. The hidden kingdom that the Moonflower had revealed was not a place of grandeur but a reminder of the magic and beauty that had always existed in the land. The villagers celebrated Arya's bravery and the return of their land's prosperity. They learned that the true magic lay not just in the Moonflower but in their own hearts and their connection to the world around them. The tale of Arya's quest and the Moonflower became a cherished story in the village, a reminder of the power of hope, courage, and the enchantment that lies within the simplest of things. Under the light of the full moon and the blooming Moonflower, the village thrived once more, forever grateful for the girl who had restored their magic and their land. In the heart of a vast and verdant forest, there was a tiny village called Willowbrook. The village was known for its tranquil beauty, surrounded by towering oaks and meandering streams. The villagers lived simple lives, tending their gardens and sharing stories around crackling fires. But they had a secret, an ancient legend of a magical compass that could lead its bearer to their deepest desires. The compass was said to be hidden in the Whispering Cavern, a place few dared to enter due to its labyrinthine tunnels and the legend that it was guarded by a fearsome dragon. Many had sought the compass, but none had returned. One crisp autumn morning, a brave young girl named Elara decided to find the compass. Elara was known for her boundless curiosity and kind heart. She had always dreamed of adventure beyond the familiar woods of Willowbrook and believed that the compass could help her discover her true path. Armed with a satchel of provisions and her grandfather's old map, Elara set off toward the Whispering Cavern. The forest path twisted and turned, leading her deeper into the unknown. The leaves rustled with whispers of encouragement, and the sun filtered through the branches in golden beams. After hours of travel, Elara arrived at the entrance of the Whispering Cavern. The cavern's mouth was a dark, gaping maw that seemed to breathe with a life of its own. Taking a deep breath, Elara stepped inside. The cavern was a maze of shimmering crystals and shadowy corridors. She carefully followed her map, though it was difficult to keep her bearings in the dim light. As she ventured deeper, she came upon a fork in the path. The left tunnel was dark and narrow, while the right tunnel was wide and lined with glowing mushrooms. Remembering the advice from the villagers about the cavern's deceptive nature, Elara chose the right tunnel, trusting her instincts. The tunnel led her to a grand chamber filled with sparkling gemstones and glittering pools. At the center of the chamber was a pedestal, upon which rested an ornate compass. Elara's heart leaped with excitement, but her joy was short-lived. From the shadows emerged a majestic dragon with scales that shimmered like moonlight. The dragon's eyes, though fierce, held a glimmer of curiosity. "Why have you come here, young one?" the dragon rumbled, his voice echoing through the cavern. Elara stood tall despite her fear. "I seek the compass to find my true path. I believe it will help me bring something valuable back to my village." The dragon regarded her for a long moment, then spoke. "Many have sought this compass for their own gain. What makes you different?" Elara took a deep breath and answered honestly. "I want to use it not for personal gain, but to help my village and to learn what truly matters in life. I wish to bring hope and happiness to those I care about." The dragon's eyes softened, and he let out a deep sigh. "Your heart is pure, and your intentions are noble. The compass is yours to take. But remember, its true power lies not in the destination it reveals, but in the journey it inspires." With the dragon's blessing, Elara carefully took the compass from the pedestal. It was lighter than she expected, and its needle spun gently before settling in a specific direction. Elara thanked the dragon and made her way back to Willowbrook. As she journeyed home, the compass guided her not just through the forest but also through her own reflections. She realized that the compass was leading her to understand the value of compassion, courage, and community. When Elara returned to Willowbrook, she was greeted with awe and excitement. The villagers gathered around as she shared her adventure and the wisdom she had gained. Elara used the compass to inspire her fellow villagers, leading them to work together to enhance their village in ways they had never imagined. Under her guidance, Willowbrook flourished with new ideas and innovations. The village became a place of greater harmony and creativity, where everyone contributed to the well-being of their community. Elara's quest for the enchanted compass had revealed to her the true magic of life, the strength of unity and the power of selfless acts. The compass itself was a cherished artifact, a symbol of the journey that had changed her life and her village forever. And so, in the heart of the forest, Willowbrook thrived, a testament to the values that Elara had discovered and shared. The enchanted compass remained a treasured relic, not for its magic, but for the journey it inspired. The end. Once upon a time, high up in the night sky, there lived a little star named Twinkle. Twinkle was different from all the other stars. While the others shone brightly and twinkled happily in the night sky, Twinkle couldn't shine at all. No matter how hard it tried, its light was faint, almost invisible. This made Twinkle feel very sad. The other stars tried to cheer Twinkle up. "Don't worry," said the big star, who was the leader of all the stars. "Everyone has their own time to shine. You just need to be patient." But Twinkle couldn't help feeling down. Every night, it would watch as the other stars lit up the sky, making it sparkle like a beautiful blanket of diamonds. Twinkle wanted so badly to be like them, but no matter how much it tried, its light remained dim. One night, a wise old moon noticed Twinkle sitting all alone, looking sad. "Why do you look so gloomy, little star?" asked the moon. Twinkle sighed. "I can't shine like the other stars. No one can see my light. I feel so useless." The wise old moon smiled kindly. "Just because your light isn't as bright as the others doesn't mean it's not important. Sometimes, the smallest lights are the most special." "But how?" Twinkle asked, puzzled. "Trust in yourself and keep shining, no matter how small your light may seem. You never know who might need it," the moon replied. Twinkle didn't fully understand the moon's words, but it decided to try. Every night, Twinkle would do its best to shine, even if it was just a tiny flicker of light. The other stars continued to sparkle and dance in the sky, but Twinkle remained hopeful, remembering what the moon had said. One night, as the stars filled the sky with their usual brilliance, something strange happened. A thick fog began to rise from the earth, slowly covering the sky. The fog was so dense that it swallowed up the light of the big stars. One by one, they disappeared behind the heavy mist, leaving the sky dark and lonely. Twinkle watched in fear as the fog crept closer. Soon, it would be hidden too. But then Twinkle remembered the moon's words. "Keep shining, no matter what," Twinkle whispered to itself. The fog wrapped around Twinkle, but it didn't stop shining. Even though its light was small, Twinkle refused to give up. It shone as brightly as it could, casting a tiny glow in the darkness. Down on Earth, a little girl named Lily was lost in the woods. She had wandered too far from her home and couldn't find her way back. The thick fog made everything look the same, and she was scared. But just when she thought she would never find her way, she saw a tiny light in the sky. It was Twinkle. Even though it was small, the light gave Lily hope. She followed the faint glow, trusting that it would lead her home. Twinkle kept shining, guiding Lily through the dark woods, past the trees and over the hills, until finally, she saw the lights of her village in the distance. Lily's heart filled with joy, and she ran home, safe and sound. She looked up at the sky and whispered, "Thank you, little star. You were my guiding light." As the fog began to lift, the other stars returned, shining as brightly as ever. But now, Twinkle wasn't sad anymore. It had found its purpose. Even though its light was small, it had helped someone in need. And that made Twinkle the happiest star in the sky. From that night on, Twinkle shone with pride. It didn't matter that it wasn't as bright as the others because Twinkle knew that even the smallest light could make a big difference. And whenever people looked up at the night sky, they could see Twinkle, shining bravely, a reminder that every light, no matter how small, has its own special place in the world. The end. Once upon a time, in a land where the moon bathed everything in silver light, there was a quaint village named Lunalore. The village was nestled in a valley surrounded by rolling hills and dense forests. It was known for its beautiful moonlit nights, when the moon seemed to touch the earth with its soft glow. In Lunalore lived a young girl named Mira. Mira had a special gift: she could talk to plants. From the tiniest flower to the tallest tree, Mira understood their whispers and songs. Every evening, she would wander the woods, tending to the plants and listening to their stories. One clear night, as Mira walked through the forest, she came across a hidden path she had never seen before. Curiosity piqued, she followed it until she reached a gate made of intertwined silver vines. The gate was adorned with glowing moonstones that shimmered in the moonlight. Mira gently pushed the gate open and stepped inside. Beyond the gate lay a breathtaking garden unlike anything Mira had ever seen. The garden was filled with luminescent flowers, their petals glowing softly in various shades of blue, pink, and violet. The air was filled with a sweet, enchanting fragrance, and the sound of delicate music seemed to emanate from the flowers themselves. In the center of the garden stood a grand, ancient oak tree with a hollow trunk. Mira approached the tree and noticed a small, intricately carved box nestled inside the hollow. The box was covered in strange, glowing symbols that seemed to pulse with the rhythm of the moonlight. As Mira reached for the box, a gentle voice spoke from behind her. "Welcome, kind soul," said a graceful fairy who appeared from among the flowers. Her wings sparkled like stardust, and her eyes twinkled with kindness. "I am Luna, the guardian of the moonlit garden." Mira, amazed and excited, responded, "Hello, Luna. This garden is magical. What is this box?" Luna smiled. "This box holds the secret of the moonlit garden. It contains a powerful magic that has been hidden away for centuries. To unlock its power, one must prove their heart is pure and their intentions noble." Mira felt a sense of purpose and asked, "How can I prove that?" Luna floated closer and explained, "The box can only be opened by answering 3 riddles. Each riddle is a test of wisdom, compassion, and bravery. If you succeed, the secret within will be revealed." With determination in her eyes, Mira nodded. Luna began with the first riddle. "I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have nobody, but I come alive with the wind. What am I?" Mira thought carefully and then said, "An echo." The symbols on the box glowed warmly, and Luna nodded approvingly. "You have answered correctly. Now, for the second riddle, I can be cracked, made, told, and played. What am I?" Mira pondered the riddle and then answered, "A joke." The box's glow intensified, and Luna's smile widened. "Well done. Now, the final riddle, I am not alive, but I grow. I don't have lungs, but I need air. I don't have a mouth, but water kills me. What am I?" Mira considered the riddle carefully. She thought of the things she had seen and experienced in her life. Finally, she said, "A fire." With that answer, the box's glow became blindingly bright.
That was not medicine.
The lid of the box slowly opened, revealing a shimmering orb of moonlight. The orb floated gently out of the box and hovered in front of Mira and Luna.
That was not medicine.
Luna spoke with reverence. "This is the heart of the garden. It holds the magic that keeps this garden alive and thriving. With its power, you can bring prosperity and harmony to your village." Mira was awestruck and asked, "How can I use this magic?" Luna's eyes shone with a gentle light. "The magic of the heart is meant to be shared. Use it with kindness and wisdom to help those in need. It will guide you in your journey." Mira took the heart of the garden with great care. As she left the magical garden and returned to her village, she carried with her a newfound sense of purpose. She used the garden's magic to help the villagers, heal the land, and bring joy and prosperity to Lunalore. The village flourished under Mira's care, and the garden remained a secret place of wonder, known only to those with a pure heart and noble intentions. And so, Mira's legend grew, and her name was remembered in stories and songs as the girl who discovered the secret of the moonlit garden and used its magic to bring light and love to her world. Once upon a time, in a charming little village surrounded by rolling green hills, there was a curious shop known as Whispers of Wonder. The shop was owned by an old woman named Alara, who was renowned for her collection of magical artifacts and whimsical curiosities. Among the many treasures in her shop was an exquisite music box made of polished wood and adorned with intricate carvings of stars and flowers. This music box was said to be enchanted, though no one knew its true power. In this village lived a kind-hearted boy named Finn. Finn was known for his adventurous spirit and his love of music. He often played his flute by the river and dreamt of discovering magical places. One day, while exploring Whispers of Wonder, Finn was drawn to the music box. The soft, melodic tune it played was both soothing and enchanting. Alara noticed Finn's fascination and smiled warmly. "Ah, the music box," she said. "It's a very special piece. It's said that whoever listens to its melody will find their heart's deepest wish." Finn's eyes sparkled with curiosity. "Do you really believe that?" he asked. Alara nodded. "I do. But remember, magic often requires belief and courage." That evening, Finn sat by the river, listening to the music box's tune. As he listened, he thought about his deepest wish, to find a place where music could be heard and shared by everyone, a place where dreams and melodies intertwined. He wished for a magical realm where music brought people together and filled their hearts with joy. The next morning, Finn awoke to find the music box glowing softly. A note appeared, written in shimmering ink, "Follow the melody to find your heart's desire." Excited and determined, Finn set out on a journey guided by the music box's melody. He ventured into the forest, where the trees seemed to sway in rhythm with the tune. The path led him to a hidden glen, bathed in a warm, golden light. In the center of the glen stood a magnificent tree, its branches adorned with glowing musical notes. As Finn approached the tree, he heard the music box's melody growing louder. Suddenly, the tree's bark parted to reveal a shimmering door. Without hesitation, Finn stepped through the door and found himself in a magical realm known as Harmonia. Harmonia was a land where music and magic flourished. The skies were filled with colorful musical notes, and the air was alive with harmonious melodies. Enchanted creatures played instruments, and magical beings danced gracefully, their movements creating beautiful symphonies. Finn marveled at the sight, and as he wandered through Harmonia, he came across a grand concert hall where a magnificent orchestra was playing. The music was unlike anything he had ever heard, uplifting, joyful, and full of wonder. The audience, a diverse mix of magical beings and creatures, was captivated by the performance. At the end of the concert, the conductor, a wise and graceful being named Lyra, noticed Finn. She approached him with a warm smile. "Welcome to Harmonia," she said. "I see you've discovered our world. What brings you here?" Finn explained his wish for a place where music could bring people together. Lyra listened attentively and nodded. "You found the very heart of Harmonia. Here, music has the power to unite, heal, and inspire. But our realm is in need of a special gift, a new melody that will bring hope and joy to everyone." Lyra handed Finn a magical baton, adorned with sparkling gems. "Will you help us create this melody?" Honored, Finn accepted the baton and joined the orchestra. He poured his heart into composing a new piece, drawing inspiration from the beauty of Harmonia and the melodies he had heard. The music flowed from his soul, creating a melody that was both moving and uplifting. As the orchestra played Finn's composition, a magical aura enveloped Harmonia. The melodies resonated through the land, bringing harmony and joy to every corner of the realm. The magical beings rejoiced, and Finn felt a deep sense of fulfillment. With the melody complete, Lyra thanked Finn for his gift and presented him with a special token, a silver music note pendant. "This will remind you of the magic of Harmonia and the power of music. Whenever you play your flute, remember that you have the ability to inspire and bring joy to others." Finn returned to his village, carrying the pendant in a heart full of newfound inspiration. He shared the magical music he had created with the villagers, and soon, the village was filled with joyous music and laughter. The villagers gathered regularly to share melodies and stories, and the village became a place where music truly brought people together. And so, Finn's wish had come true. The music box's magic had led him to Harmonia and back, where he had discovered the power of music to unite hearts and create joy. The village thrived with the spirit of harmony and song, and Finn's adventure became a beloved tale of wonder and magic. And under the twinkling stars and the gentle melodies of the night, the village and its inhabitants lived happily ever after, their hearts forever touched by the magic of the enchanted music box. The end. In a kingdom hidden between misty mountains and whispering forests, there was a magical garden known only to a few. This garden, called Veridonia, was said to be the most beautiful and mysterious place in all the lands, where flowers sang and trees told tales of old. One day, a young girl named Alara stumbled upon a hidden path while wandering through the forest. She was a kind-hearted girl with a curious spirit, always dreaming of adventures beyond her small village. This path was unlike any she had seen before. It was lined with golden stones that glowed softly in the twilight. As she followed the path, Alara felt a sense of wonder and excitement. The path led her to a grand archway adorned with sparkling vines. With a deep breath, she stepped through the archway and into the enchanted garden of Veridonia. Alara's eyes widened in awe. The garden was a mosaic of colors and scents she had never experienced. Trees with silver leaves swayed gently in a breeze that seemed to sing. Flowers of every hue, from brilliant blues to deep purples, opened their petals and hummed melodious tunes. In the heart of the garden stood a magnificent tree with a trunk that shimmered like stardust. Hanging from its branches were glowing orbs of light that floated gently above the ground. Alara approached the tree and noticed a small, golden key nestled among the roots. Beside the key, a scroll lay partially hidden. Unrolling the scroll, Alara read the ancient writing, *, to find the heart of the garden, seek the crystal pond where dreams awaken. Use this key to unlock the door to the secret chamber, where the greatest treasure of all lies. Star. Excited by the promise of a treasure, Alara looked around and soon found the crystal pond mentioned in the scroll. It was a serene pool with water as clear as glass. The pond was surrounded by glowing stones and reflected the stars above, even though it was still daylight. Alara noticed a small, ornate door at the edge of the pond, almost hidden by lush vines. With the golden key in hand, she unlocked the door. It creaked open to reveal a hidden chamber bathed in soft, golden light. Inside the chamber, Elara saw a beautiful chest resting on a pedestal. Her heart raced as she opened it, expecting to find gold or jewels. Instead, the chest was filled with a swirling mist of vibrant colors. As she peered inside, the mist began to take shape, revealing a small, delicate book with a cover made of shimmering leaves. Elara carefully picked up the book. Its pages were filled with stories and illustrations of adventures, magic, and wonder. The words seemed to come alive, telling tales of bravery and kindness, of heroes and heroines who had once walked the earth and brought light to the darkest corners. As Elara read, she realized that the true treasure of Veridonia was not gold or jewels, but the stories and dreams captured within the book. The magic of the garden had given her a gift far greater than material wealth. It had bestowed upon her the wisdom and imagination to inspire others. With a heart full of joy, Elara left the garden, carrying the enchanted book back to her village. She shared the stories with everyone she met, filling their lives with wonder and hope. The magic of Veridonia lived on through her tales, and the garden remained a secret place where dreams and stories blossomed, awaiting the next curious soul to find its hidden path. And so, the enchanted garden continued to flourish in the hearts and minds of those who believed in the magic of stories, and Elara's adventures became a cherished legend, passed down through the ages. Once upon a time, in the picturesque kingdom of Evergreen, there was a hidden sanctuary known as the Glimmering Grove. This grove was famous for its radiant, moonlit flowers in the Heartstone, a magical gem said to grant one wish to those who approached it with a heart full of love and kindness. The Heartstone was concealed deep within the grove and was only revealed during the night of stars, when the sky was filled with shimmering constellations. In a cozy cottage on the edge of Evergreen lived a gentle and imaginative girl named Amelia. Amelia was beloved in her village for her kindness and her love of animals. Her best friend was a curious and clever rabbit named Thistle, who was known for his quick thinking and ability to find hidden paths. One evening, as the night of stars approached, Amelia and Thistle discovered a beautifully crafted, silver locket buried beneath a flowering vine in their garden. Inside the locket was a sparkling, crystal key in a note that read, "The Glimmering Grove awaits. Use this key on the night of stars to unlock the Heartstone's magic." Excited by the prospect of finding the Heartstone and making a wish, Amelia and Thistle set out on their journey under the starlit sky. The path to the Glimmering Grove was bathed in the soft light of the stars, guiding them deeper into the forest. As they entered the grove, they were greeted by the magical beauty of the moonlit flowers and the soothing sound of a gentle breeze. However, the path to the Heartstone was guarded by 3 enchanting challenges. The first challenge was the Bridge of Lanterns. This was a bridge made of glowing lanterns that floated above a sparkling river. The lanterns shifted and changed color, and they needed to follow the correct sequence to cross the bridge. Thistle used his sharp eyes to observe the patterns of the lanterns, while Amelia carefully followed his directions. They made their way across the bridge, which shimmered brightly as they stepped on the correct lanterns. On the other side of the river, they faced the second challenge, the Labyrinth of Echoes. They entered a maze of tall, whispering hedges that seemed to change direction as they moved. To find their way out, they needed to listen carefully to the whispers and follow the correct echoes. Amelia and Thistle worked together, with Thistle's keen ears guiding them through the maze. After navigating the twists and turns, they emerged into a serene glade where the Heartstone stood, glowing softly in the moonlight. The final challenge was the riddle of the Heartstone. At the center of the glade stood the Heartstone, surrounded by a ring of glowing flowers. To make their wish, they needed to solve a riddle spoken by the Heartstone itself. "I am not alive, but I grow. I don't have lungs, but I need air. I don't have a mouth, but water can be my friend. What am I?" Amelia thought deeply about the riddle and then answered with a smile, "A flame." The Heartstone's light grew brighter, and a soft, warm glow enveloped them. Amelia and Thistle approached the Heartstone, and Amelia spoke her wish from the heart. "I wish for the happiness and prosperity of everyone in Evergreen. I want to see our village and our land thrive with joy and peace." As Amelia's wish was spoken, the Heartstone's glow expanded, and the magic of the gem spread throughout the glimmering grove and beyond. The stars in the sky twinkled more brightly, and a gentle breeze carried the Heartstone's magic across the kingdom. When Amelia and Thistle returned to Evergreen, they found their village transformed. The fields were lush and green, the animals were healthy and joyful, and the people were filled with a deep sense of contentment and harmony. The tale of Amelia and Thistle's adventure and the magic of the Glimmering Grove became a cherished story in Evergreen, reminding everyone of the power of love, kindness, and selfless wishes. And so, the Glimmering Grove remained a place of wonder and enchantment, where dreams and wishes came to life under the light of the stars. The end. Once upon a time, in a quaint village named Willowbrook, nestled at the edge of a sprawling, mystical forest, there lived a young girl named Elowen. Elowen was known throughout the village for her boundless curiosity and her love for exploring the enchanted woods that lay beyond the village's borders. The villagers often spoke of strange and magical happenings in the forest, but none ventured too deep, for they feared what lay beyond. One crisp autumn morning, as golden leaves fluttered through the air, Elowen discovered a peculiar silver locket while wandering near the edge of the forest. The locket was adorned with intricate engravings and seemed to emit a soft, enchanting glow. Excited by her find, Elowen hurried back to the village to show her grandmother, who was the wisest woman in Willowbrook. Her grandmother, upon seeing the locket, gasped in recognition. "This locket," she said, her voice trembling with awe, "belongs to the legendary Moonlight Queen, who once protected our land with her magical light. Legend says that whoever finds this locket is destined to restore the Queen's lost light and save the realm from impending darkness." Elowen's eyes widened. "How can I restore the Queen's light?" Her grandmother explained that the locket's magic was bound to a hidden realm within the forest called the Moonlit Glade. To reach it, Elowen would need to face 3 trials that tested her bravery, wisdom, and compassion. With a heart full of determination, Elowen set off on her quest, her faithful dog, Bramble, by her side. As they ventured deeper into the forest, the trees grew denser, and the path became less distinct. Soon, they arrived at a babbling brook with a bridge made of delicate moonbeams. Guarding the bridge was a wise old turtle with a shell that shimmered like the night sky. To cross the bridge, the turtle said, "You must solve this riddle. I am taken from a mine, and shut up in a wooden case, from which I am never released, and yet I am used by almost every person. What am I?" Elowen thought for a moment, then smiled. "A pencil." The turtle nodded and allowed them to cross. Beyond the bridge, the forest became eerily quiet, and the path led to a hidden grove illuminated by the soft glow of fireflies. In the center of the grove stood a majestic oak tree with a hollow trunk, inside which sat an ancient book guarded by a graceful deer. To continue, the deer said, "You must show compassion. The book will only open to those who help someone in need." Elowen looked around and saw a small, injured bird lying on the ground. Gently, she picked up the bird and used her knowledge of herbs to tend to its wounds. The bird chirped gratefully, and as Elowen placed it back in the safety of its nest, the ancient book's pages fluttered open, revealing a map to the Moonlit Glade. Following the map, Elowen and Bramble reached a hidden waterfall cascading into a crystal-clear pool. At the base of the waterfall was a small, ornate door. As they approached, the door creaked open to reveal the Moonlit Glade, bathed in a soft, silvery light. In the center of the glade stood the Moonlight Queen, looking tired and dim, her once brilliant light now just a faint shimmer. Elowen approached with the locket, holding it out. "Moonlight Queen," she said, "I have come to restore your light. I found your locket and completed the trials to prove my bravery, wisdom, and compassion." The Moonlight Queen looked at Elowen with gratitude. "You have shown great courage and kindness, young one. The locket's magic will help me regain my strength." As Elowen placed the locket around the Queen's neck, a brilliant light burst forth, filling the moonlit glade with a radiant glow. The Queen's light returned in full, brighter and more beautiful than ever before. "You have saved us all," the Queen said, her voice filled with warmth. "As a token of my gratitude, I grant you a wish." Elowen thought for a moment and then said, "I wish for the magic of the moonlit glade to be shared with my village, so that the light and wonder of the forest can bring joy and hope to everyone. The Moonlight Queen nodded, and with a wave of her hand, a stream of shimmering light flowed from the glade to Willowbrook. The village was transformed, with every garden blooming in vibrant colors, and a gentle, magical glow illuminating the streets at night. Eloan returned to her village as a hero, her heart full of joy knowing she had helped her home. The villagers celebrated her bravery and the renewed magic of the forest, and from that day on, Willowbrook thrived under the enchantment of the Moonlight Queen. And so, the village of Willowbrook lived happily ever after, forever touched by the light and magic brought by a courageous young girl and a silver locket. Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, there was a magical forest where no one dared to enter. The trees were so tall that their tops touched the clouds, and the animals there could speak in human tongues. The heart of this forest was said to hold a great secret, one that only the bravest and kindest could discover. In a grand castle not far from the forest, there lived a young princess named Elara. She was known throughout the kingdom for her kindness and curiosity. She loved exploring the castle gardens and reading stories of faraway lands. But there was one place she had never been allowed to go, the magical forest. One day, Princess Elara overheard her parents, the king and queen, speaking in hushed tones. They were worried about something important. The princess listened closely and heard them mention the forest and a mysterious curse. They spoke of a lost princess, a girl who had disappeared many years ago, leaving the kingdom heartbroken. The only clue to her whereabouts was said to be hidden deep within the magical forest. Elara's heart raced with curiosity and concern. She felt a strong pull toward the forest, as if it were calling her. That night, she made a decision. She would enter the forest and find out the truth about the lost princess. The next morning, before the sun had fully risen, Elara sneaked out of the castle. She wore a simple cloak and carried a small bag with food and water. As she approached the edge of the forest, she felt both excited and nervous. The trees loomed over her, their leaves whispering secrets in the wind. Taking a deep breath, Elara stepped into the forest. The air was cool and fresh, and the sounds of birds singing filled her ears. As she walked, she noticed that the animals were not afraid of her. A squirrel chattered a friendly greeting, and a deer bowed its head as she passed. Elara smiled, feeling a little more at ease. After a while, she came upon a large, ancient oak tree. It was the biggest tree she had ever seen, with roots that spread out like giant fingers and branches that seemed to touch the sky. As Elara approached the tree, she felt a warm breeze, and then, to her amazement, the tree began to speak. "Welcome, Princess Elara," the tree said in a deep, gentle voice. "I have been waiting for you." Elara gasped in surprise. "You know who I am?" she asked. The tree's branches swayed as if nodding. "Yes, I know many things. I am the guardian of this forest, and I know why you have come." Elara's eyes widened. "You do? Can you tell me about the lost princess? My parents mentioned her, and I feel like I need to help." The tree sighed, and its leaves rustled softly. "The lost princess you seek is closer than you think. Many years ago, a terrible curse was placed upon this kingdom. The curse took a young princess from her family and trapped her in this forest. She has been waiting for someone with a pure heart to find her and break the curse." Elara felt a surge of determination. "How can I help? What must I do to break the curse?" The tree's bark shimmered with a faint golden light. "To break the curse, you must find the princess's heart. It is hidden in a place where only the brave and the kind can reach. But beware, the forest will test you. You must face 3 challenges, each one more difficult than the last. Only then will you find the princess's heart and free the lost princess." Elara nodded, her resolve strengthening. "I'm ready. Tell me what I must do." The tree's voice grew serious. "Your first challenge is to find the stream of reflection. Follow the path to your right until you reach the stream. There, you must look into the water and see your true self. Only when you understand what you see can you move forward." Elara thanked the tree and set off in the direction it had told her. The path was narrow and winding, and she had to duck under low branches and step carefully over roots. After what felt like hours, she heard the sound of flowing water and soon found herself standing before a clear, sparkling stream. She knelt down and looked into the water. At first, she saw only her reflection, the face of a young girl with bright eyes and a determined expression. But as she continued to gaze into the stream, the water began to ripple, and her reflection changed. She saw herself not as a princess, but as a girl who was kind, brave, and full of love for her family in her kingdom. She saw all the good she had done, and all the good she could do in the future. But she also saw her fears, her fear of not being enough, her fear of failure. Tears filled Alara's eyes as she realized that being a princess wasn't about titles or riches. It was about the strength of her heart and the choices she made. With this newfound understanding, the water in the stream began to glow with a soft light. The stream whispered, "You have seen your true self. You may move forward." Alara smiled and wiped away her tears. She stood up and continued on her journey. The second challenge soon awaited her. As she walked, she came upon a large, twisted briar patch. The thorns were sharp and thick, and there was no way around it. She would have to find a way through. Remembering the tree's words, Alara knew this challenge was not just about physical strength. She had to use her mind and her heart. She thought of the many people in her kingdom who faced obstacles every day, people who needed help, guidance, and sometimes just a little kindness. She realized that the thorns represented these challenges, and to overcome them, she needed to face them head-on, with courage and care. Taking a deep breath, she carefully began to part the thorns, speaking softly to them as if they were living things. "Please let me pass," she whispered. "I mean no harm." To her surprise, the thorns began to soften and move aside, creating a narrow path for her to walk through. Alara moved slowly, her heart full of hope. When she finally reached the other side, she saw that the briar patch had vanished, replaced by a field of beautiful flowers. "You have shown kindness and courage," a voice said on the breeze. "You may continue." Alara knew she was close to finding the princess's heart. She continued on, her steps lighter and her spirit stronger. Soon, she reached a clearing where a large, glowing crystal stood in the center. It pulsed with a gentle light, and Alara knew this was the princess's heart. But before she could reach it, a dark shadow appeared. It took the form of a towering figure with glowing red eyes, blocking her path. "You will not take the heart," the shadow growled. "It belongs to the curse, and no one shall break it." Alara's heart pounded in her chest, but she stood her ground. "I will not let fear stop me. The lost princess deserves to be free, and I will do everything I can to save her." The shadow laughed, but Alara did not falter. She closed her eyes and remembered all the good she had seen in herself, all the kindness and bravery she had shown. She thought of the love she had for her family in her kingdom, and with that love, she stepped forward. As she did, the light from the crystal grew brighter, and the shadow began to shrink. Alara kept walking, her heart filled with determination and love. The shadow roared, but it was no match for the light. It dissolved into nothingness, and the crystal floated into Alara's hands. "You have passed the final test," a voice whispered, gentle and warm. "You have found the princess's heart." The crystal in Alara's hands began to glow brighter and brighter until it transformed into a young girl, a girl who looked just like Alara, but with hair as silver as the moon. It was the lost princess, freed at last. "Thank you," the princess said, her voice filled with gratitude. "You have saved me and lifted the curse. The kingdom is free once more." The two princesses embraced, and together they returned to the castle. The king and queen were overjoyed to see their daughter safe and to learn that the curse had been broken. The lost princess, who had been trapped for so long, was welcomed back with open arms. From that day on, the kingdom flourished, and the magical forest became a place of wonder and peace. Princess Alara was celebrated not just for her bravery, but for the strength of her heart. And so, the two princesses lived happily ever after, side by side, as sisters and as the future queens of a kingdom filled with love, kindness, and light. The end. Once upon a time, in a tranquil kingdom surrounded by lush forests and sparkling rivers, there was a small village named Leora. Leora was known for its lush gardens, charming cottages, and a mysterious musical melody that played every full moon night. The melody was enchanting and seemed to come from the sky, but no one knew its source. In the heart of the village lived a young girl named Lyra. Lyra had a deep love for music and spent her days playing her grandmother's old violin, dreaming of discovering the secret behind the moonlit melody. Her grandmother had often told her that the melody was a gift from the moon, meant to bring joy and harmony to the world. One clear night, as the full moon rose high in the sky, Lyra decided to follow the melody. She put on her warmest cloak, took her violin, and set off towards the edge of the forest, where the music seemed to be the strongest. As she ventured deeper into the forest, the moonlight danced through the trees, casting shimmering patterns on the ground. Lyra followed the melody, which grew louder and more enchanting with each step. Eventually, she came upon a glade bathed in silver light. At the center of the glade stood a magnificent tree, its branches glowing softly with moonlight. Lyra approached the tree and discovered a hidden door carved into its trunk. With a deep breath, she opened the door and found a spiral staircase leading down into a glowing chamber. The chamber was filled with twinkling lights and soft, ethereal music that seemed to resonate with the very essence of the moon. At the center of the chamber stood an elegant harp, its strings glowing with moonlight. The harp was being played by a beautiful, otherworldly figure, an enchanting moon sprite with shimmering wings and a gown made of stardust. The moon sprite's music filled the room with a sense of peace and wonder. The moon sprite looked up and smiled warmly at Lyra. "Welcome, dear child. I have been waiting for you." Lyra was amazed. "I've always wondered where the moonlit melody comes from. How is it that you play such beautiful music?" The moon sprite's eyes sparkled. "This harp is enchanted by the moon's light. It plays a melody that brings harmony and joy to the world. But every century, we must find a new musician to keep the magic alive. The moon has chosen you." Lyra was both thrilled and nervous. "But I'm just a young girl with an old violin. How can I possibly play this magical harp?" The moon sprite gently handed Lyra a moonlit ribbon. "Take this ribbon and wrap it around your violin. Play the melody from your heart, and it will blend with the magic of the harp." With a deep breath, Lyra took the ribbon and wrapped it around her violin. She began to play, her bow moving gracefully across the strings. As she played, the music from her violin intertwined with the harp's melody, creating a harmonious symphony that filled the chamber with an even more magical light. The moon sprite watched in delight as Lyra's music resonated with the harp's enchantment. "You have a true gift," the moon sprite said. "Your music will keep the magic alive and bring joy to all who hear it." As the night wore on, the moon sprite taught Lyra the secrets of the harp and the art of playing with the moon's magic. When the first light of dawn began to appear, the moon sprite bid farewell to Lyra, thanking her for sharing her music and promising that the moon's melody would continue to bring harmony to the world. Lyra returned to her village, her heart full of wonder and joy. The villagers marveled at the new, enchanting music that filled the nights, more beautiful and captivating than ever before. They celebrated Lyra's gift and her new role as the keeper of the moonlit melody. From that day on, Lyra's music became a cherished part of Leora, and the full moon nights were filled with magical melodies that brought happiness and peace to all who listened. The village thrived under the moon's gentle light, and Lyra's name became synonymous with the enchanting tunes that touched the hearts of everyone. And so, the moonlit melody continued to play, a timeless reminder of the magic that exists in music and the wonders that lie beyond the ordinary world. The end. Once upon a time, in a kingdom nestled between rolling hills and emerald forests, there was a magical village known as Willowbrook. The villagers lived in harmony with nature, and their days were filled with laughter, song, and the occasional mischief of enchanted woodland creatures. In the heart of Willowbrook stood a grand, ancient oak tree named Elder Oak. It was said that Elder Oak had witnessed the rise and fall of many generations and that it held the wisdom of the ages within its gnarled branches. But as wise as Elder Oak was, it had one secret. It was the guardian of a magical crystal known as the Heart of the Forest. The Heart of the Forest was a glowing, emerald green gem that had the power to bring peace and prosperity to the land. However, it was also said that if the crystal were ever stolen, a dark curse would befall the kingdom. To protect it, Elder Oak had always kept the crystal hidden deep within its trunk, accessible only to those with pure hearts. One crisp autumn morning, a young girl named Elara woke to find a strange sight outside her cottage. An enormous, swirling mist had settled over the village, and the usually cheerful woodland creatures were nowhere to be seen. Alarmed, Elara decided to investigate. She grabbed her cloak, a basket of berries, and set off towards Elder Oak. As Elara approached the ancient tree, she noticed that the mist grew thicker, and the branches of Elder Oak seemed to tremble. The heart of the tree had dimmed, and it was clear that something was terribly wrong. Determined to help, Elara touched the trunk gently and whispered, "Elder Oak, what has happened?" From within the tree, a soft, sorrowful voice replied, "The heart of the forest has been stolen, and the land is growing darker by the minute. Only a true-hearted soul can retrieve it and restore balance." Elara felt a chill run down her spine, but she nodded resolutely. "I will find it. Please, tell me where to start." Elder Oak's voice was barely a whisper. "Follow the path through the mist. It will lead you to the Shadow Realm. There, you will find the lair of the thief. Beware, for darkness can cloud even the purest of hearts." With a deep breath, Elara ventured into the swirling mist. As she walked, the world around her grew darker and more twisted. Trees seemed to twist into eerie shapes, and shadows whispered unsettling secrets. But Elara pressed on, guided by a faint, glowing light that grew stronger with each step. Finally, she arrived at a cavern entrance shrouded in shadows. With a steady heart, she entered. Inside, the cavern was filled with a soft, eerie glow from crystals embedded in the walls. At the center of the cavern, on a pedestal, sat the Heart of the Forest, surrounded by swirling dark energy. Guarding the crystal was a shadowy figure cloaked in black. The figure turned to face Elara, revealing a face that seemed to shift and change with the shadows. "Who dares to challenge me?" the figure's voice echoed menacingly. "I am Elara, and I have come to reclaim the Heart of the Forest," she declared bravely. The figure laughed, a sound like rustling leaves. "You think you can take it from me? This crystal has given me power beyond your imagination. But I shall offer you a challenge. Solve my riddle, and I will let you take the heart. Fail, and you shall be lost in darkness forever." Elara nodded, steeling herself. "What is your riddle?" The figure's eyes glowed faintly as it spoke. "I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with the wind. What am I?" Elara thought deeply. The cavern seemed to hold its breath as she pondered. Then, she remembered the whispers of the wind she had heard in the forest, the sounds that carried messages without a physical form. "An echo," she answered confidently. The shadowy figure's eyes widened in surprise, and with a wave of its hand, the dark energy surrounding the Heart of the Forest dissipated. "You have solved the riddle, and your heart is indeed pure. Take the crystal and restore the balance." Elara approached the pedestal and carefully lifted the Heart of the Forest. As she held it in her hands, the cavern began to brighten, and the shadows retreated. She made her way back through the mist, and with each step, the world around her grew lighter and more vibrant. When she returned to Willowbrook, the mist had vanished, and the villagers rejoiced at her return. Elder Oak's branches sparkled with renewed vitality, and the Heart of the Forest was safely returned to its resting place within the tree. The kingdom flourished once more, and Elara's bravery became a cherished tale told for generations. The enchanted creatures of the forest danced and sang, celebrating the return of peace. And so, the kingdom of Willowbrook thrived under the watchful gaze of Elder Oak, protected by the pure heart of a brave young girl. And they all lived happily ever after. Once upon a time, in a quaint village nestled between rolling hills and a sparkling river, there was a humble music shop run by an elderly man named Master Caden. The shop was known far and wide for its magical instruments, each with a unique and enchanting story. Among these instruments was a golden violin known as the Enchanted Melody. Legend had it that the enchanted melody could only be played by someone with a heart full of kindness and bravery. Its music was said to bring joy, heal wounds, and even grant a single wish to the pure-hearted soul who played it. But the violin had remained silent for many years, as no one had yet proven worthy of its magic. In this village lived a young girl named Ilara. Ilara was known for her sweet nature and her love of music. Every day, she played her small, worn-out violin, filling the village with beautiful melodies. Despite her talent, her family was poor, and they struggled to make ends meet. Ilara dreamed of a better life for her family and wished to bring happiness and prosperity to her village. One crisp autumn morning, while walking past Master Caden's shop, Ilara heard the faintest whisper of a melody that seemed to call to her. Intrigued, she entered the shop and saw the golden violin displayed on a velvet cushion. Its beauty was breathtaking, and the melody it seemed to whisper felt like a promise of hope. Master Caden, who had been observing Ilara with a knowing smile, approached her. "The enchanted melody has been waiting for someone like you," he said. "It is said that only someone with a truly pure heart can play its magic." Ilara's eyes widened with excitement and curiosity. "How can I prove myself worthy?" Master Caden handed her the violin and said, "You must undertake a quest to show your true heart. There are 3 tasks that will test your kindness and bravery. Only by completing them will the enchanted melody reveal its magic." Ilara accepted the challenge with determination. The first task took her to the edge of the village, where a small, struggling farm was in dire need of help. The farm's crops were wilting, and the farmer's animals were weak. Ilara worked tirelessly, tending to the crops, feeding the animals, and helping the farmer restore the land. Her efforts brought new life to the farm, and the grateful farmer thanked her with tears of joy. The second task led Ilara to the heart of the forest, where she found a wounded deer caught in a hunter's trap. With gentle hands and a kind heart, Ilara freed the deer, tended to its wounds, and stayed by its side until it could walk again. The deer looked at her with grateful eyes before bounding back into the forest, its strength restored. For the final task, Ilara had to climb the steepest hill in the village and reach a hidden cave where a mystical flower known as the Star Blossom was said to bloom. The journey was arduous, and Ilara faced harsh weather and rough terrain. But she persevered, driven by the thought of her village and her family. When she finally reached the cave, she found the Star Blossom glowing with a soft, celestial light. She carefully plucked the flower and made her way back, exhausted but fulfilled. Upon returning to Master Caden's shop, Ilara presented the Star Blossom and recounted her experiences. Master Caden nodded approvingly and said, "You have proven yourself worthy with your acts of kindness and bravery." With that, Master Caden handed Ilara the enchanted melody. As she held the golden violin, she felt a warm, magical energy flow through her. She lifted the bow and began to play. The music that flowed from the violin was unlike anything anyone had ever heard, melodies of joy and healing that filled the air with enchantment. The villagers gathered around, mesmerized by the beautiful music. As Ilara played, the village transformed, crops flourished, the river sparkled with newfound vitality, and a sense of happiness and peace settled over everyone. The magic of the enchanted melody had brought prosperity and joy to the village. Ilara's family, too, found their fortunes changing. They were able to build a new home and live comfortably. And Ilara's dream of bringing happiness to her family and village had come true. Master Caden smiled with pride. The true magic of the enchanted melody is not just in its notes, but in the kindness and courage of the one who plays it. From that day on, Ilara became known as the village's most cherished musician, and the enchanted melody was played during every celebration and festival, spreading joy and harmony throughout the land. The tale of Ilara and the golden violin became a beloved story, a reminder that the greatest magic of all is found in the heart. Once upon a time, in a charming village nestled between emerald hills and a shimmering lake, there was a mysterious place known as the Moonlit Meadow. The meadow was bathed in soft, silver light every night, and it was said that the moon's magic made the flowers there bloom with an ethereal glow. In this village lived a humble young woman named Mira. Mira was known for her kindness and her beautiful voice, which she used to sing lullabies to the village children. Every evening, after her daily chores, she would visit the moonlit meadow to sing to the flowers, hoping that her music would help them grow even more splendidly. One night, as Mira was singing beneath the full moon, she noticed something unusual. A soft, golden light began to emanate from the center of the meadow, where a delicate silver tree stood. This tree was unlike any other she had seen. Its branches were adorned with tiny, glistening orbs that seemed to pulse with a gentle, rhythmic glow. Curious and enchanted, Mira approached the tree. As she neared, the golden light became brighter, and a soft, melodious voice spoke from the tree. "Greetings, Mira. I am the moonlit tree, guardian of the meadow. Your songs have brought great joy and magic to this place." Mira, astonished, replied, "I didn't know my singing could have such an effect. How can I help you, moonlit tree?" The tree responded, "There is a special wish that I must grant tonight, under the light of the full moon. However, to make this wish come true, I need a special ingredient, a moonbeam flower, which only blooms once every 100 years. Mira's eyes widened with realization. "I've heard of the moonbeam flower. It's said to be found in the highest peak of the Silver Mountains, guarded by a fierce dragon." The moonlit tree nodded. "Yes, but I believe you have the courage and kindness to retrieve it. The dragon, though fierce, is not evil. It is simply protecting the flower, as it is vital for the balance of magic in the world." Determined to help, Mira set out on her quest the next morning. She climbed the Silver Mountains, her path winding through rugged terrain and steep cliffs. Along the way, she encountered various challenges, a roaring river and a treacherous landslide, but she faced each obstacle with bravery and resourcefulness. At the peak of the mountain, Mira found the dragon's lair. The dragon was a magnificent creature with shimmering scales and wise, gentle eyes. Mira approached with respect and said, "I seek the moonbeam flower to help grant a wish that will bring joy and balance to the world. Please, allow me to take it." The dragon studied Mira with a discerning gaze. "Why do you seek this flower?" Mira replied earnestly, "I want to help the moonlit tree, which has brought so much beauty to my village. My wish is for the happiness and well-being of everyone, and I believe this flower will make it possible." The dragon's stern expression softened. "You have shown great courage and kindness. The flower is indeed meant to bring joy, so I will grant your request." With the dragon's blessing, Mira carefully took the moonbeam flower and began her descent. She returned to the moonlit meadow, where the moonlit tree awaited. As Mira placed the flower at the base of the tree, its light mingled with the golden glow of the orbs, creating a dazzling spectacle. The tree spoke once more, "Your wish has been granted, Mira. The magic of the moonbeam flower will spread joy and balance throughout the world." True to its promise, the meadow's beauty flourished even more, and the village experienced a wave of happiness and prosperity. Mira's songs became legendary, and she continued to sing her lullabies, now blessed with the magical light of the moonlit meadow. And so, Mira's bravery and kindness ensured that the magic of the moonbeam flower and the moonlit tree would be remembered for generations. The village thrived, and Mira, the moonlit tree, and the dragon lived in harmony, their story a shining example of how courage and kindness can light up the world. And they all lived happily ever after. Once upon a time, in the heart of the Whispering Forest, there was a small village named Glenwood. The village was known for its lush green meadows and sparkling rivers, but what truly made it magical was the ancient lantern of Luminera that stood in the center of the village square. The lantern was said to hold the power to grant one wish every 100 years. The lantern was a magnificent creation of gold and crystal, with intricate patterns that glowed faintly in the moonlight. Every century, when the lantern's light reached its peak, the villagers gathered to make their wishes, hoping for miracles. One autumn evening, as the 100th anniversary of the lantern's last wish approached, the village was abuzz with excitement. The chosen one to make the wish was to be a young girl named Ilara, known for her kindness and bravery. Ilara lived with her grandmother, Mira, in a quaint cottage on the edge of the forest. Mira had always told Ilara stories of the lantern's magic and the adventures it had brought to their ancestors. Ilara dreamed of making a wish for her village, which had recently faced many hardships due to a long drought. As the night of the wish drew nearer, Ilara prepared herself for the event. She wore a beautiful gown of silver and blue, and carried a small, handmade lantern that her grandmother had gifted her. Mira had told her that this lantern, though ordinary, was a symbol of her true heart and intentions. The night of the wish arrived with a brilliant full moon casting its glow upon the village. The villagers gathered around the lantern of Luminera, their faces illuminated by its shimmering light. The air was filled with anticipation as the clock struck midnight, signaling the moment for Ilara to make her wish. Ilara stepped forward, her heart pounding with excitement. She took a deep breath and, with a determined look in her eyes, whispered her wish into the lantern's glowing core. The words were simple but heartfelt. "I wish for the prosperity and happiness of our village, for the drought to end, and for the land to be abundant again." As Ilara finished her wish, a gentle breeze swirled around her, carrying with it a soft, melodious chime. The lantern of Luminera glowed brighter, and a beam of light shot up into the sky, creating a stunning aurora that painted the heavens with vibrant colors. The villagers watched in awe as the light from the lantern began to transform the village. The parched fields turned green, the rivers flowed with fresh water, and the trees blossomed with fruit and flowers. It was as though the entire land had been touched by magic. The next morning, the village awoke to find their wish granted. The once dry and barren land was now flourishing with life. The villagers celebrated with joy and gratitude, knowing that Ilara's wish had brought a new era of prosperity to Glenwood. Ilara's courage and selflessness were celebrated, and she became a beloved figure in the village. She continued to help her people and care for the land, ensuring that the magic of the lantern's wish lived on in every corner of their lives. The lantern of Luminera remained a symbol of hope and wonder for future generations. Though it would be another 100 years before it would grant another wish, its light continued to inspire the hearts of those who believed in the power of dreams and the magic of giving. And so, Glenwood thrived, bathed in the glow of the enchanted lantern, and Ilara's story became a cherished legend, passed down through the ages as a testament to the power of a pure heart and a noble wish. The end. Once upon a time, in the peaceful village of Starling, there lived a young girl named Luna. Luna was known for her bright spirit and her love for the stars. Every night, she would climb up to the hilltop near her home and gaze at the sky, dreaming of adventures among the constellations. Her grandmother would often tell her stories of a magical starlit tree, hidden deep in the enchanted forest, whose fruits could grant wishes. One evening, as Luna sat on the hilltop, she saw a shooting star blaze across the sky and land somewhere in the enchanted forest. Luna's heart raced with excitement. Could this be a sign? She wondered. Determined to find out, she decided to follow the star's path. Early the next morning, Luna packed a small bag with some bread, cheese, and a flask of water. She also took her grandmother's compass, a family heirloom said to always point towards one's true desire. With a deep breath, Luna set off toward the enchanted forest, her heart full of hope and curiosity. The enchanted forest was a place of wonder and mystery, with trees that whispered ancient secrets and streams that sparkled like liquid silver. As Luna ventured deeper, she encountered various magical creatures. She befriended a wise old owl named Orion, who agreed to guide her through the dense forest. "You're looking for the starlit tree," Orion said, his eyes twinkling like stars. "It is a sacred tree, protected by the spirits of the forest. To find it, you must prove your worth by passing 3 trials." Luna nodded determinedly, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Orion led her to the first trial, the River of Reflection. The river was calm but deep, and its waters mirrored everything perfectly. To cross it, Luna had to face her own fears and doubts reflected back at her. Taking a deep breath, Luna stepped onto the river's surface. Her reflection showed her deepest insecurities, but she pushed forward, focusing on her goal. With each step, the reflections faded, and she reached the other side with renewed confidence. For the second trial, Orion led Luna to the Meadow of Echoes, where the wind carried the voices of those who had walked there before. Luna had to find the truth among the echoes, discerning the guiding whispers from the distracting ones. She closed her eyes and listened intently, letting her intuition guide her. Following the softest, most encouraging voice, she navigated the meadow successfully. Finally, they arrived at the Cave of Shadows, where the third trial awaited. Luna had to find a way through the darkness without any light. Trusting her instincts and remembering her grandmother's tales, she sang a lullaby that her grandmother used to hum. The soothing melody brought forth tiny glowing fireflies that lit her path, leading her safely through the cave. Emerging from the cave, Luna found herself in a beautiful glade bathed in starlight. In the center stood the magnificent starlet tree, its branches adorned with shimmering fruits that looked like stars. The tree's guardian, a graceful spirit named Selene, appeared and smiled warmly at Luna. "You have proven your worth, brave one," Selene said. "You may ask for one wish." Luna thought of the villagers back home, who worked hard but still faced many challenges. She wished for prosperity and happiness for her village, so that no one would go hungry or feel sorrow. The starlet tree glowed brighter, and one of its star fruits gently floated down into Luna's hands. "Your wish is granted," Selene said. "Take this fruit back to your village. Its magic will bring prosperity and joy to all." With the precious fruit safely in her bag, Luna thanked Selene and Orion, and made her way back home. The journey through the forest seemed shorter now, as if the magic of the starlet tree was guiding her steps. When Luna returned to Starling, she gathered the villagers and told them of her adventure. She placed the star fruit in the center of the village square, and its light spread throughout the village, filling every home with warmth and abundance. Crops flourished, wells overflowed with fresh water, and a sense of joy and unity enveloped the village. Luna's bravery and selflessness were celebrated, and the story of her journey became a cherished tale in Starling. Every night, Luna would still climb to her hilltop and gaze at the stars, but now she did so with the knowledge that she had brought a piece of their magic to her home. And so, the village of Starling thrived, forever grateful to the young girl who followed a shooting star and discovered the true power of a kind heart and a brave spirit. The end. The Whispering Fountain. Once upon a time, in a land of rolling hills and enchanted forests, there was a small village known for its vibrant gardens and bustling marketplace. Despite its charm, the village was plagued by a mystery. The Whispering Fountain in the center of the village square had gone silent. Once, it was said to grant wishes to those who listened carefully to its murmurs, but now it was just an ordinary fountain. In this village lived a kind-hearted girl named Clara, who loved to help others and had a special fondness for the Whispering Fountain. She remembered the stories her grandmother used to tell about the fountain's magic and wished she could restore its voice. One day, Clara decided to embark on a quest to discover the reason behind the fountain's silence and restore its magic. She packed a small satchel with essentials and set off towards the heart of the forest, where the village elders said the magic of the fountain originated. As Clara ventured into the forest, she followed a narrow, winding path lined with ancient trees whose branches whispered secrets to each other. The forest was alive with the sounds of chirping birds and rustling leaves. Clara listened carefully to the whispers, hoping they would guide her. After a few hours, Clara came across a beautiful, shimmering pool nestled among a grove of silver birch trees. In the center of the pool was a stone pedestal with a delicate, crystal vial resting upon it. The vial was filled with a liquid that sparkled like stardust. A wise old owl perched on a nearby branch noticed Clara and said, "Welcome, young traveler. I see you seek the magic of the Whispering Fountain." Clara nodded eagerly. "Yes, I wish to restore the fountain's voice. Can you help me?" The owl blinked its golden eyes and replied, "This vial contains the essence of echoes, a magical liquid that can restore the fountain's voice. However, it must be combined with a song of pure heart and kindness. Only then will the fountain regain its magic." Clara's heart swelled with determination. "I will sing a song of kindness and hope." With the vial in hand, Clara made her way back to the village. she carefully poured the essence of echoes into the fountain's basin. As she did, she began to sing a gentle melody, one that spoke of love, joy, and the beauty of helping others. Her voice was soft and sweet, and the villagers gathered around, enchanted by the psalm. As Clara sang, the fountain's waters began to shimmer and bubble. Slowly, the whispers returned, growing louder and more vibrant. The once silent fountain now hummed with life, its water sparkling like diamonds in the sunlight. The villagers watched in awe as the fountain's magic was restored. The water rose gracefully, forming shapes of flowers, stars, and gentle creatures that danced in the air. The fountain's voice, soft and melodious, spoke words of encouragement and hope to all who listened. "You have restored the magic of the whispering fountain," the fountain's voice echoed. "May its whispers guide and bless all who seek its wisdom." The village erupted in joy and celebration. The fountain became a symbol of hope and unity, and its whispers served as a reminder of the kindness and love that had brought its magic back. Clara was hailed as a heroine, and her song became a cherished part of village lore. As the days went by, Clara continued to help others and spread kindness throughout the village. The Whispering Fountain remained a source of inspiration and wonder, and its magic touched the lives of all who visited it. And so, Clara's tale became a beloved story, reminding everyone that true magic lies in the purity of the heart and the power of selfless acts. The village thrived, and the Whispering Fountain's voice continued to echo through the years, a testament to the enduring power of kindness and hope. And they all lived happily ever after. I hope you enjoyed this fairy tale. The Whispering Willow. Once upon a time, in a picturesque valley surrounded by towering mountains and lush forests, there was a quaint village named Eldergrove. This village was known for its harmony and the mysterious whispering willow tree that stood at its edge. The whispering willow was said to have the ability to grant one wish every 100 years, but only to someone who truly deserved it. In Eldergrove lived a young boy named Finn, who was known for his generosity and bravery. Finn often helped the villagers with their chores, and he had a special bond with the animals in the forest. However, his village faced a great challenge. A severe drought had dried up the river that flowed through Eldergrove, leaving the land parched and the villagers worried. One day, while Finn was tending to the animals, he overheard the elders talking about the Whispering Willow and its magic. Desperate to help his village, Finn decided he would find the Whispering Willow and make a wish to restore the river and save Eldergrove. The quest for the Whispering Willow. Early the next morning, Finn set off on his quest. He packed a small bag with supplies, a loaf of bread, a flask of water, and a warm cloak, and ventured into the forest. The path to the Whispering Willow was said to be filled with trials that tested one's heart and courage. As Finn journeyed through the forest, he encountered a wise old fox with a silver-tipped tail. The fox spoke with a gentle voice, "To reach the Whispering Willow, you must first solve my riddle. I can fly without wings, I can cry without eyes. Wherever I go, darkness follows me. What am I?" Finn pondered the riddle and replied, "A cloud." The fox's eyes twinkled with approval, and he pointed Finn towards a hidden path lined with glowing mushrooms. Finn thanked the fox and followed the path deeper into the forest. The enchanted grove. The path led Finn to a beautiful grove where the trees shimmered with an otherworldly light. In the center of the grove was a serene pond with water so clear it seemed to reflect the stars. A graceful, golden stag with antlers like branches of a tree stood by the pond. The stag spoke softly, "To proceed, you must answer this riddle. I have cities but no houses, forests but no trees, and rivers but no water. What am I?" Finn thought carefully and said, "A map." The stag nodded and gently stepped aside, revealing a winding trail that led to the heart of the grove. Finn followed the trail with a sense of excitement and hope. The Whispering Willow. At the end of the trail, Finn found himself in front of the Whispering Willow. The tree was majestic and ancient, with branches that seemed to touch the sky. Its leaves rustled softly, as if whispering secrets to the wind. Finn approached the tree with reverence. A soft, ethereal voice echoed from the tree, "To receive the magic of the Whispering Willow, you must make a wish that comes from a heart full of love and selflessness." Finn took a deep breath and made his wish. I wish for the river to be restored, so that the land may be fertile again and the villagers can thrive. As Finn spoke, the Whispering Willow's branches glowed with a warm, golden light. The light spread outwards, flowing through the forest and towards Eldergrove. Finn felt a gentle breeze as the magic began to work. The return to Eldergrove. When Finn returned to his village, he was greeted with a miraculous sight. The river had returned, its waters sparkling and flowing freely. The land was lush and green, the fields were fertile, and the villagers were overjoyed. The villagers celebrated with a grand feast in Finn's honor, grateful for the magic of the Whispering Willow that had restored their home. Finn's bravery and selflessness had brought prosperity and happiness back to Eldergrove. The tale of Finn and the Whispering Willow became a cherished story in the village, a reminder of the power of kindness and the magic that can be found when one's heart is full of love for others. And so, Eldergrove continued to flourish, forever blessed by the magic of the Whispering Willow and the heart of one extraordinary young boy.